Welcome to Sunday Night with Old Time Radio, 23 February 2025. We have Planet Man, and follow that adventure with Jerry at Fair Oaks. We move on to the Academy Awards Theater. They have the comedy Front Page. Jack Benny appears next. Jack and Johnny Green, well, there's trouble. We have Counter Spy. The episode's title is Desert Explosion. Escape with the Birds. We'll see if that has anything to do with Hitchcock's film. Close with Plumhouse. And we begin tonight with a 5-minute mystery. As always, we hope that you enjoy the programming. If you ever have suggestions for us, please enter your comments if you're listening through YouTube. Suggestions, praise, criticism. We'd like to hear from you.
Another 5-minute mystery.
Randall, good afternoon. Mr. Randall, just a moment, please.
Randall speaking.
Hello, Jim. This is Tony, Mary's brother.
Well, Tony, my boy, how are you?
All fine as silk. Just flew in from Cleveland for the big race at Diamond Track.
Welcome to New York. Where are you now, Tony?
Down at the track. Thought we could drive out to your home tonight and surprise my sister. I haven't seen her in a couple of years.
That's swell. Give me a call when you get back in the city, and we'll drive out together. Mary will be thrilled.
Be sure not to tell her I'm in town. I want to surprise her.
Okay, Tony. See you later. Here we are, Tony.
Hey, your place looks swell, John. You've done a lot of work on it since I was last here.
Yes, Mary and I have worked hard on this property. I can't wait to see Mary's face when she sees you.
Neither can I.
Mary! Hello, Mary! Darling, where are you?
Maybe she went out to the store or a friend's house.
Well, not Mary. She makes a point of being here when I get home. Or else she tells me where she'll be.
You're a lucky guy.
I'll say. Hello, Mary. I'll look here in the sitting room. Mary! Mary!
Hold it, John. There's nothing we can do. She's dead. John, you've got to pull yourself together. The inspector will be here any minute.
Pour me a drink, will you, Tony? I'll be all right, I guess. I'll go. Inspector?
Yes, Inspector Abbott.
Come in, Mr. Abbott. I'm John Randall. This is my wife's brother, Anthony Marin. Inspector?
How do you do? I'm sorry about your wife, Mr. Randall.
Thanks, Inspector.
I don't want to seem cold-blooded, Mr. Randall, but we may as well begin the investigation.
Well, my wife's in here, Inspector.
Not a pretty sight. One bullet through the left temple. No sign of a struggle. Your wife must have been resting, which gave the murderer a perfect opportunity. I should say she's been dead for at least 3 hours.
Did the end come quickly, Inspector?
Yes, I'm sure she never knew a thing. Where were you, Mr. Randall, this afternoon around 3 o'clock?
At the Midston building where I work. I made one business call over on the east side. Had an appointment at 2:30. I took about an hour.
I see. And you, Mr. Marin?
I flew in from Cleveland this morning. Arrived at about 1:30 and went straight to the Diamond racetrack.
Yes, Inspector. Tony called me from the track shortly before I left the office.
I can't believe that Mary's gone. Who could have wanted to murder her?
I haven't had the time to figure out the reason why, but I know who did the murder.
Inspector Abbott, you mean that...
I mean that Anthony Marin murdered his own sister.
What was the clue that led Inspector Abbott to accuse Tony Marin of murder? In a moment, the inspector will tell you. But first... Now, back to our story.
Mr. Marin became an immediate suspect when he telephoned you, Mr. Randall, from the Diamond Racetrack. It is ironic indeed that you had advance knowledge of his mistake. Perhaps murder could have been avoided had you known that at racetracks there are no public telephones.
The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danto, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember Billy, Jane, and Pat Darrow and Dantro the Planet Man were marooned on Venus amidst a sea of dust when their dust buggy broke down during a terrible storm. With their communicator not working, they have been unable to do more than sit and wait for the storm to blow itself out.
Have you figured out what's wrong with the communicator yet, Dantro?
Not yet, Billy. I can't understand how it could have gone out. This type of equipment is built to take a pounding for years without trouble.
Maybe it needs a tube or something.
Not this set. They're tubeless. That's what makes them so sturdy.
Listen to that wind. Don't have to listen to it. I can almost feel it through the buggy. That plastic shield around us must really be strong.
How fast do you think it's blowing out there?
Well, at least 200 miles an hour, maybe more.
Gosh.
Have you found the trouble yet?
Yes, I found it.
Can't you fix it?
Not without new parts, and there aren't any extras aboard.
New parts? Is it that bad?
Pat, you remember what I told you just before we left Venusport?
You mean about the ship?
That's right. Well, it looks like this is more of the same.
More of the same? Same what?
I'm going to tell them, Pat.
I guess you better.
What's going on?
Remember the trouble we had with the ship before we left Planaria Rex?
I remember. It was something with the counter-gravity thing.
Yes, the counter-gravity stabilizer. It was deliberately sabotaged. And the same thing has happened to this communicator. And the dust buggy, too, I think. It's as I told Pat at Venusport. Marston is gone, but his collaborators are still at work trying to achieve what he failed to do.
But what good does it do them to strand us out here? Sooner or later, a search party will find us and take us back to Venusport.
You're absolutely right, Jane, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to tell you and Billy the whole story. I'm afraid that the dirty work isn't over.
Do you think someone in the convoy was in on it?
Well, we'll probably never find out for sure who sabotaged our buggy and communicator. Say, we've been so busy talking, I didn't even notice that the storm's letting up. I hope what I've told you doesn't frighten you.
You should know us better than that by now. Besides, we're all stuck together. We can take care of anything.
Atta boy, Billy. That's the way to talk.
Hello, Venusport. Secret Channel 7 Zeptar. This is Noki reporting from Goodwill Tour Convoy. Mission complete. Dantro's dust buggy stopped as planned. Convoy did not stop to find them in dust storm. We'll proceed with Operation Pickup. Should have the Earth people and Dantro as prisoners shortly. Keep you advised. Signing off.
Dantro, how about going outside? The storm's over. Maybe we can fix the jets on the buggy.
That's one thing we mustn't even try, Billy. That dust is like powder, and in this part of the desert, it's hundreds of feet thick. Without special shoes, you'd sink out of sight in a second. That's why the buggies have wide, flat runners like a sled so that they can coast along on top of the dust.
I bet if we had a pair of snowshoes, we could walk on it.
Well, as a matter of fact, the Venusians wear special dust walkers that look almost exactly like snowshoes. There aren't any on the buggy. I've already looked.
What are we going to do now? Just sit here and wait?
No, I'm going to climb to the top of the buggy and send up a couple of flares before it gets light. May help them find us.
But won't it help who's ever trying to get rid of us, too?
Well, we'll just have to take that chance.
Here, hold this flare gun, and when I get up on top of the buggy, hand it to me.
Be careful.
Don't worry, I will.
Jethro, look out!
It's all right, Billy. Hand me the flare gun. Just reach it up through the doorway there.
There it is.
Now, I've got it.
Why doesn't he send up a flare?
Give him time. It's coming back down again. What's the matter, Jantro? Why didn't you send up a flare?
Well, that does it. The flare gun's been tampered with, too.
Well, isn't there anything we can do?
Maybe we can light a fire.
It'd be a good idea if we had something to burn, but everything in the buggy is fireproof and there's nothing else but dust for hundreds of miles. No, I'm afraid we'll just have to sit here until it gets light and hope the rescue party finds us then.
A wait for help in a sea of dust is a very long time. Sometimes it never comes. What will face our friends now? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left Dantro, Pat, and the kids, Billy and Jane, they were waiting for help in their sabotaged dust buggy. They were hoping a Venusian rescue party would shortly pick them up. As we find them now, they are in their dust buggy staring out at the vast reaches of the shifting mountains of dust.
Jane, what are you looking at?
I was sure I saw something moving out there.
Where?
Out that way. It looked almost like somebody standing there. It's gone now.
I'm afraid it was your imagination, Jane. Even in this light, you can see for miles. There's nothing there now.
Ah, she's just seeing things.
Well, if she's seeing things, so am I. Look out there.
You're right. I can see it, too. Looks like some kind of an animal or something's coming towards us.
There's some more of them here on the other side. Look.
What is it, Jantro? Do you know?
I'm not sure. It's hard to see the way they're hunched over, but I think... Oh, it can't be.
It can't be what?
Remember I was telling you about the dusters?
Sure. You said nobody was sure if they really existed or not.
Well, I'm afraid they do exist, and what's more, they're all around the dust buggy.
We're surrounded.
They seem to be coming in closer now.
Do you think they'll attack us?
I don't understand this at all. There's little known about them, but I've never heard of them attacking.
They look so strange. In some ways, they look humanoid, and in others, almost like some kind of reptile.
Gee, you're right. They're still not close enough to see very clearly, but their skin seems to be scaly, almost like an alligator.
Look at their feet. They're wearing dust shoes, all right, but it looks like it's part of their body. I guess that's how they can walk on the dust without sinking in.
They keep coming closer and closer. I wonder what they're going to do. Well, we should know in a couple of seconds. They're almost up to the buggy.
What's that noise?
It must be from those tremendous feet moving through the dust.
Well, anyhow, they can't bite us.
Why not?
Look, they hardly have any mouths at all. Just a tiny little hole.
Yes, but their noses make up for it. They're bigger than the Venusians.
They're touching the ship on this side.
Look, they're working one of their spears in through the crack of the port.
Stand back, Billy. Let me get over there.
There's another one now, on the other side.
Get back away from the port, Billy. Looks like they're going to force it open. They've split it already.
There it goes.
Hello, Venusport, Secret Channel 7 Zeptar. This is Noki. Convoy just arrived Galanta. We'll delay them on Dantro's rescue. Baca and I heading out to Dantro Stall's dust buggy. Keep you advised. Signing out.
Why don't you use your ray gun, Dantro?
I don't dare. I might get a few of them, but not enough to matter. Besides, we still aren't sure they mean to harm us.
Looks like one of them is trying to climb in through the port. Gosh, look at that skin. It's just like an alligator's. Bet they can walk through a dust storm and not even feel it.
I guess that's what it's for.
Coming in all right.
He certainly is an ugly-looking specimen.
Right now, I'm much more concerned with what he wants, not what he looks like.
He's just standing there looking at us.
Why don't you try and talk to him, Dantro?
I don't think it'll do any good, Billy. They haven't any ears.
Do you think they can communicate with each other?
Maybe. Somehow they must, or they couldn't organize an attack as they did this one.
They must be pretty smart.
Maybe, but remember, the ants back on Earth and a lot of other insects, too. And wolves, they hunt in packs and yet have no means of communication.
Wolves. You don't think these dusters are like wolves, do you, Pat?
Oh, of course not, Jane.
Here comes another one through the port.
Hey, and there's one right behind
They're
us.
coming toward us.
Just stay where you are. Don't move.
Hey, one of them has hold of my arm.
Get your hands off
Don't fight them, Billy. Jane, it won't do any good. We're badly outnumbered.
Hey, he's got a rope. He's going to tie me up. Hey, what do I do? Just stand here?
I'm afraid we have no choice. If we fight back, we may just arouse them. As it is, we still don't know what their plans are.
Now they're tying me up, too.
I guess you're right about their not being able to hear or speak. They aren't making a sound.
Here comes another one through the port. What's he carrying?
Some kind of a cloth. Hey, what's he doing with it? Hey, Jane, are you all right? Danfro!
Don't be afraid, Jane. They're just going to wrap us in this cloth.
Don't worry, kid. Don't worry.
He's been carrying us out of the buggy. Ow! Jane, that hurt! What were you doing? Where you bang my head right against the door? You be careful, you walking alligator. Keep calm, kid.
That's the stuff. At least we can talk. That way we can keep track of each other.
They're somewhere, aren't they?
That's right, they are.
Back to their village, do you think?
There's no telling, Billy. All we can do is wait and see.
It seems the Dusters are taking Danfro and the Earth people to some prearranged spot. Where is this place? And why are our friends being taken there? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Danfro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the proof. This is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Billy Dixon, a buffalo hunter defending Dodge City from an attack by Kiowa Indians, killed Chief Minimick with a single shot at a distance of 1 mile. The distance was carefully measured after the battle. Believe it or not. In a moment, I'll tell you about an unusual act of chivalry. Some of the most unusual events have happened to people during the heat of battle. During the siege of a castle, a battle was interrupted for an act of chivalry. William Grant, a soldier, was trapped atop a flaming tower of Dunsehead Castle in Erie. He was saved by an enemy bowman named John Butler, who attached a length of rope to one of his arrows and shot it up to him. Grant tied the rope to the tower and slid to safety inside the castle's walls. Believe it or not.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the proof. This is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
The casket of Queen Elizabeth I, while on view in Whitehall Palace, London, mysteriously exploded. The coffin was shattered, yet the Queen's body was unharmed. Believe it or not. In a moment, I'll tell you about a fantastic pilgrimage. The pilgrims to Mount Kailas in Tibet indulge in the most fantastic pilgrimages in the world. They must circle the 22,000-foot mountain on their stomachs. They complete each circuit in the bitter cold, and this requires 3 weeks. Yet many of the pilgrims circle the mountain in this manner 12 times, alternately rising and prostrating themselves day and night for 9 months. Believe it or not.
Jerry at Fair Oaks.
doing out here in the quad?
Oh, hello, Lee.
Gee, I'm glad to see you. But your arm, it isn't broken, is it?
Uh-uh.
What's it in a sling for, then?
Oh, the doctor wants me to keep it in a sling, so I'm sure not to use it. He wants me to rest it for a while.
Oh, I thought it was serious for a minute. Well, then outside of the arm, you're all right, huh?
Sure.
You're not very talkative. What did Dr. Campbell have to say?
Oh, nothing much. He took x-rays and gave me a good examination. He said I'd just have to take it easy for a while until the bruises heal.
You might have been hurt pretty badly. You're sure lucky.
Don't I know it?
Well, then take that glum look off your face. Gee, everybody in school's talking about the way you saved Cully. I'll bet you make the polo team now. Well, come on, say something. What's the matter with you?
I just got that letter from Mr. Randall.
Oh, you did? Well, what'd he say?
No.
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't send the money.
Did he say why?
Yeah, he said he liked the idea of my wanting to help somebody and also do business, but, well, he figured it was too much money for my first business venture.
Is that all he said?
Just about.
What are you going to do now?
Well, there's nothing else to do. No use writing to Mr. Randall again. I know him too well for that.
Are you going to tell Mac you couldn't get the money?
Uh-huh. I don't have to go to class this afternoon, so I think I'll go over and see Mac and have a talk with him. Hey, do you want to walk over to Mac's with me before you go to class?
Okay, sure.
Okay, come on then.
Did you happen to hear about Cully?
No.
I thought maybe Dr. Campbell told you.
Oh, what about him?
Well, they had a special officers meeting last night, and I understand Major Davis wrote Cully's father a letter and told him just what happened.
Uh-oh. That's not so good.
I'll say it's not. Oh, and besides that, he got 20 demerits, and he's going to lose all privileges for 30 days, too.
Jiminy, Sergeant Alden must have been plenty mad.
I'll say he was. That's one time Cully's show-off stunt didn't work.
And I guess he's through on the polo team.
Oh, certainly. That goes without saying. And I'll bet it goes without saying that you get his spot on the team.
But I don't know whether I want to be on the polo team or not.
I know what's the matter with you. You're just thinking about Mac and helping him get the money for his invention. And, well, that's swell, but... Well, after all, Jerry, you've got to think a little bit about yourself, too. You did all you could, and now it's up to Mac to do the best he can.
Yeah? You don't know me. I don't give up that easy.
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to try to get Mac to hold off a little longer, till I can figure something out. You know, the whole trouble is, Mac wants to keep his invention a secret. If it wasn't for that, well, maybe we could get Captain Gardner or somebody else to help him out.
Yes, he wants to keep it a secret, and then he tells a perfect stranger all about it himself and takes a chance of losing everything.
Hey, I've got it.
What?
Boy, why didn't I think of this before? Guy Linwell.
You mean Harold's dad?
Why, sure, he's just the man. He's an aviator. He can see the value of Mac's invention. I'll bet anything he'd be glad to help Mac.
Hey, you might be right at that. But how are you going to get in touch with him?
I'll have Harold write to him. Maybe get him to come to Fair Oaks and see Mac and talk with him and look the invention over.
Gee, it sure would be keen if you could.
One thing sure, I'm going to try. Now Mac's just got to hold off a little longer.
Say, I believe you got something there. I sure wish I could help you convince Mac.
Hey, you can come in for a little while, can't you?
No, I don't think I'd better. Study call will be coming in any second now. Besides, I'm not supposed to be off the campus. I'll just walk with you as far as the arch there.
Well, if he'll listen to me, I think I can convince him. I've got a real good argument now.
Oh, there's Mac just coming out of his store. He's hanging Duncan out.
Duncan?
Yeah, Mac's bird, the canary, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
How you going to start, Jerry?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, what are you going to say first?
Oh, I don't know. It'll come to me. I'll just sort of lead up to it.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, there's the call. I got to run for it. Good luck, Jerry. I'll see you this afternoon.
Hi, Mac.
Oh, greetings, Jerry.
Oh, well, hello to you too, Duncan.
Of course, good to see you up and around. The report said that you were badly banged up. No, your arm's not broken, is it?
I just have to rest it. That's why it's in a sling.
Come on in the store, Jerry. Let me treat you to some ice cream. Huh?
Oh, swell.
Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Mac. Hey, I thought you said the only time you treated anybody was when they first came to Fair Oaks and when they graduated.
Oh, well, I neglected to tell you, Jerry, that when a boy's been hurt, I do a little treating, too. Of course, that's not generally known. If it was, I know a lot of boys here at Fair Oaks that would go out getting themselves hurt on purpose just to be getting a soda or two free, huh?
Yeah.
What do you have, strawberry or chocolate?
Chocolate, please, Mac.
I might have known that. I don't think you've ever asked for anything but chocolate, have you, Jerry?
Huh?
I say, I guess chocolate's your favorite, huh, Jerry?
Oh, yeah, sure, Mac. Say, Mac.
Yeah?
Has Mr. Russell been back to see you yet?
No, but I expect him shortly. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's coming in any minute, no. Why?
I couldn't get that money for you, Mac.
Oh, well, that's all right, Jerry. I didn't want to discourage you, but I didn't think you'd be able to get it anyhow. $250 is a whole lot of money for a lad of your age to be getting.
But I tried, Mac. Honest, I did.
Well, I appreciate that, Jerry. Really, I do. Yes, sir, I appreciate it. Well, go on and eat your ice cream now. It'll melt.
Mac, you're not going to sign that contract with Mr. Russell today, are you?
Why, certainly I am. I've put him off once already, and he didn't like it so well either. You ken it's not wise to treat a business deal lightly. Always remember the old saying, Jerry. Make hay while the sun shines.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's true, Jerry. We've got to take advantage of our opportunities as they're presented to us. Yes, sir, lad. You've got to be alert in this world today. Besides, the deal looks good to me. I've put my trust in Mr. Russell, and well, I think he's a good man.
Smarter men than you've been fooled.
Well, I'll give you that. Now, mind, Jerry, I appreciate your interest. I really do, but you're wrong about Mr. Russell. Suppose you wait around a while and meet him. You'll change your mind about him if you do.
Oh, I'm sorry I said anything at all. I guess it was none of my business in the first place.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I've listened to you, but I'm turning down your advice. So you've done all you can. Now it's up to me. That ice cream is beginning to look like soup. You'd better get at it.
Mac.
Aye?
When you get your working model built, you're going to have to try it out on an airplane, aren't you?
Well, yeah, that'll have to do, yes, sir.
Well, have you got someone to try it out for you? I mean, someone with an airplane.
Well, no, I haven't. I figure that when the time comes, I'll go out to the airport and get acquainted with one of the pilots.
I think I know where you can get a pilot that'll test out your invention. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised but what he might put some money in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And even give you some help in perfecting it. That is, if you need any.
Well, losh, lad, who could this be?
Guy Linwell. Did you ever think of him?
Guy? Why, you mean Harold's father, huh?
Sure. He'd be just a person for it. That's his work. He's always trying out new aeronautical things. Why, he's one of the best test pilots in the country.
Aye, that he is. Well, that's the trouble. He's too big a man and far too busy.
Well, how do you know? You haven't asked him.
Well, no, I haven't.
But you do agree with me that he'd be just the man for the job.
More than I could hope for. A man like Linwell would really put it over. Yes, sir. Put it over with a bang.
You bet he would. And especially if he had some money in it. Listen, Mac, I'll get Harold to write to his dad and ask him to come down here and see your invention and talk with you. What do you say?
Well, no, I don't know.
Gee, Mac, it's worth trying.
Aye, it is.
Remember, Mac, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Now see here, Jerry Dugan, you're talking too much for a lad of your size. The first thing I know, I'll be letting Mr. Russell slip out of my hands, and I won't be getting the money at all.
Oh, Mac.
You paint a pretty picture, Jerry, a very pretty picture, but that's all it is. You can a barrel in the hand.
Yeah, I know. Is worth two in the bush.
Aye, and that's right.
Hey, I've got it. When Mr. Russell comes today, you tell him you haven't got time to go ahead with the working model now. Tell him to come back in a month or so.
Oh,
That'll give us time to see if we can get Mr. Linwell down here to see the invention.
Oh, no, Jerry. I couldn't say that. I have got the time, and I'm itching to get at it. Oh, losh, lad, I can hardly sleep nights for wanting to get at that thing and see it work. You've set me to thinking, Jerry.
What, Mac?
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll have a nice friendly talk with Mr. Russell. And then again, I might even tell him the truth. I might tell him... Yes, sir, I might go so far as to tell him I would like to get someone else in on it.
Oh, no, Mac. If I'm right, and I think I am, he'll talk you out of that. He wants the whole thing for himself, and he wants it now. He won't let you take it up with anyone else. He knows a bargain when he sees it, and he'll want to cinch the deal.
Oh.
You just watch and see.
Oh, well, now, didn't you worry about me getting talked into or out of anything?
I talked you into letting...
No, hush, lad. You merely set me to thinking, that's all. That's all you did. Mr. Russell's money is still as good as anyone else's, but you're right about Linwell being a better man for my invention. It's worth a try, and try we will, regardless of what Russell says.
Hooray for Mac!
Oh, no, wait. I'm not going to try to let Mr. Russell get angry. I might need him yet if we fail to get Linwell interested. I think he'll be reasonable, though. No. Well, that's settled, and you've won a point, eh?
But now my work's just starting.
Well, you're going to see that Harold writes to his father right away, hmm?
You bet I am.
Well, now, Jerry, do you want me to add something to the letter? Maybe, sort of give him an idea of what the invention is about?
No, I don't think that's necessary. You just leave the letter to me. Unless I miss my guess, Guy Linwell will be here as soon as he can after he reads what I'm going to say in that letter.
You're pretty sure of yourself now, aren't you?
Why not? It's got to be that way.
That's the boy. He who is determined has half his work done.
Hey, I never heard that saying before. But it sure is a good one.
You bet it is, and a true one. Now, how about some fresh ice cream? You've let that dish melt away,
No, thanks, Mac. I've got to be going. I've got work to do.
Well, all right. Good luck, Jerry.
Thanks, Mac. I'll get Harold as soon as class is out, and we'll get that letter right on.
All right.
Hey, you do your part now.
Oh, I will.
Goodbye, Mac.
Goodbye. What a lad. Yep, what a lad. He's a great one, that Jerry Dugan.
Truth is stranger than fiction. And this is the proof. This is Ripley's Believe It or Not.
When Kit Carson, the famous scout, was a boy of 17 in Franklin, Missouri, he ran away from the saddle maker to whom he was apprenticed. And the official reward for his recapture was 1 cent. Believe it or not. In a moment, I'll tell you about the reward given to a thrifty nephew. Thurston Manor and its vast estate in Scotland was to be willed by Mrs. Agnes Hunter, a widow, to one of her 3 nephews, who she invited to come visit her. The first nephew arrived riding in a coach. The second nephew came on horseback. But Robert Hunter, the third nephew, showed up on foot. His thrifty aunt was so impressed, she bequeathed to him all of her property. Believe it or not.
The House of Squibb, manufacturing chemist to the medical profession since 1858, brings you Academy Award. The pictures, the players, the techniques and skills which have won or been nominated for the coveted awards granted each year by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences to each in his field for outstanding achievement. The House of Squibb, makers of the great family of Squibb medicinal products, today brings you 2 distinguished stars, Pat O'Brien and Adolphe Monjou, in the famous story of newspaper life, Front Page, which was nominated as Best Production of the Year for the 1931 Academy Award. Mr. O'Brien and Mr. Monjou will play the same roles they created for the screen, and in which Mr. Monjou was also nominated as Best Actor of the Year for the 1931 Academy Award. This is a story of the Fourth Estate, which will prove that man didn't know when he was well off and only had 3 estates. This is the story of a good newspaper man who wanted to get married and go to New York, of his tyrannical and resourceful managing editor who wanted him to stay being a newspaper man, and of other assorted matters pertaining to the case, including a guy who was to get hanged in the morning.
Duffy. Yeah, boss? Did you find Johnson? No, Mr. Burns, not yet. We've tried all the saloons and other places that you and Mr. Johnson usually go to, but...
The word is not go to, it is frequent. We frequent places. Frequently.
But I...
Get Hildy Johnson or else get your laundry out of your desk and get out of the city room.
I'll put another man on.
In your hat, Duffy. I'm after that bunch of lily-livered, pock-marked peanut politicians who think they're running this town, and Hildy Johnson's the only man on the staff that I can trust tonight.
We've got to have somebody at the hanging, and
We've got to have Johnson.
Hello, Duffy. What? What do you mean he's getting married?
Who's getting married?
Johnson.
Well, he can't do that to me.
Where is he? Okay.
Where is he? In some church?
No, a saloon.
Good, good. He's getting up his courage. He's still got a chance. I'll get over there right away.
Okay, boss.
Well, Hildy, so you're leaving me for marriage. Why?
None of your business.
Well, how did it happen, Hildy? Tell Papa Burns.
There was a moon.
Oh, I guess that lets me out. Well, I'll give you a farewell party.
Thanks, Waller.
But it hurts, Hildy. You're not telling a fellow, after all I've done for you.
You mean after all you've done to me? Oh, you know, Waller, a guy's got to settle down sometime. Get a home and wife.
That's right, Hildy. I was never big enough to let a nice girl reform me, so I could stay in a 2-room love nest at nights and walk the floor with a crying kid when the fellows were out having a lot of fun. Marriage does make a respectable citizen out of a man. It must be grand. You never have to worry about a place to go. You always know you're going home. None of this jumping around at all hours, having to be on the inside of all the crazy excitement in this town. The 5:15 out to some suburb. A home-cooked dinner at exactly 7:30 every night, and in bed by 10. Unless after the tapioca your friends drop in for a neighborly chat. I don't blame you, Hildy. It sounds great.
Yeah. Excuse me, Waller. I just thought of something.
2 more, Mr. Burns?
Yes, Mike, fill him up. Well, that fixes Hildy Johnson's wagon, all right. No woman's going to steal the best man I've got.
Mr. Burns.
Yes, Mike?
Mr. Johnson said to tell you should put that line on a Victrola record and play it for some country boy. He's getting married.
Why, that dirty, double-crossing rat. Give me my hat!
Press room, criminal courts building. No, Mabel isn't here. Endicott speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Burns. Why, no, we haven't seen him.
Hiya, slaves!
Hiya, big shot. Just a minute, Mr. Burns. Somebody just came in. Hildy, hey, Hildy Johnson.
What?
Listen, Hildy, will you do me a personal favor and talk to Waller? He's called up about 9 million times.
What's the matter, Hildy? You scared him? I'll talk to that maniac with pleasure. Hello, Mr. Burns. Why, your language is shocking, Mr. Burns. Listen, you crazy baboon. Get a pencil and paper and take this down. Get it straight because it's important. It's the Hildy Johnson curse. The next time I see you, no matter where I am or what I'm doing, I'm going to walk right up to you and hammer on that monkey skull of yours till it rings like a Chinese gong.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's telling him.
Hildy, you dirty double-crossing rat, you don't do exactly
Listen to him. Listen, Waller. No, I ain't going to cover the hanging. I wouldn't cover Washington crossing the Delaware if he did it all over again. Never mind the hair oil. Won't do you any good this time. Because I'm going to New York. Oh, I didn't tell you that, did I? And if you know what's good for you, you'll stay west of Gary, Indiana. Because a Johnson never forgets. And that, boys, is known as what is telling off the managing editor.
Hey, why'd you quit, Hildy?
I'm getting married. See these railroad tickets, 3 to New York tonight.
Tonight?
What do you mean 3?
Me and my girl and her darling ma.
He's in love, Tootsie Wootsie.
Does Burns know you're getting married?
Does he know? He shook hands like a pal, offered to throw me a farewell dinner.
Oh, that's his favorite joke, farewell dinners.
Sure, he poisons people at him.
Oh, hello, honey. Get me Tucker 2164, will you? He got me into Polish mics, filled me full of rot gut, trying to bust up my marriage. Oh, hello, Peg. I know, but Oh, you bet I resigned. Yep, on the 11:18 tonight. Huh? The press room. I just dropped in to say goodbye, and I'll be... No, not a chance, honey. Got a taxi waiting. 10 minutes. All right. See you guys in a few minutes. I got to make the rounds and say my farewell.
Well, there goes a good guy straight to... Well, anyway, I hear he's got a contract with an advertising agency.
What doing? Writing poems about ladies' girdles?
Who dumped this out of the window on me just now?
Oh.
We promise not to tell. Sheriff, it's only a spittoon.
It was Hildy Johnson, wasn't it? All right, I got a good notion to take this press room away from you.
That would be a break.
The place is so full of cockroaches now you can't walk.
Personally, I don't give a hoot. But how does it look when there's somebody in the death house? How do you suppose he feels listening to all this revelry?
What you care, Sheriff, how he feels?
We're doing everything we can
to get your whole ticket reelected next week.
Well, when Earl Williams drops through that trap tomorrow, it's 1 million votes.
Can we help it if the people rise to support this administration's stand against corruption?
Personified by Mr. Earl Williams. A guy who loses a job he's held for 14 years. Joins a parade of the unemployed. Because he's goofy from lack of food, waves a red undershirt.
Williams is a dangerous radical. And he killed a policeman.
Now, wait a minute. Once and for all, Sheriff. Will you hang this guy at 5 a.m. instead of 7? It won't hurt you, and we can make the city edition.
Oh, now, Roy, you can't hang a fella in his sleep just to please a newspaper.
No. But you can keep postponing the hanging so it'll come just before the election.
With this new alienist coming in, how do we know there'll be a hanging?
Yeah. What if the professor finds he's insane or something?
He won't find he's insane because he ain't. He's as sane as I am.
Saner.
Now, here's a resume of the situation. The newspapers have got to put their shoulders to the wheel. Impress on the radicals that a death warrant for Earl Williams is a death warrant for every bomb-throwing foreigner in this town.
Hello, give me the desk. Hey, get this. The sheriff just put 200 more relatives on the payroll to protect the city against the redcoats. Raise my bet a dime.
Okay, baby, give me the desk. Hello. The sheriff just received 4 more letters threatening his life, which he is going to answer by a series of raids. And to prove it's on the square, he's going to write himself 4 more letters threatening his life. Yeah, I know he wrote them on account of the misspelling.
Desk, please. This is McHugh, Joe. More on the Williams hanging. You ready? The condemned man ate a hearty dinner. Mock turtle soup, chicken pot pie, hash brown potatoes, combination salad, and pie a la mode.
Yeah, baby, you better get the rest of this. The condemned man ate a hearty dinner as follows. Noodle soup, roast beef, sweet potatoes, cranberry sauce, big hunk of pastrami. Yeah, and make mine the same.
Come on. Who opened it?
I did.
Shut up and give out the cards.
How many?
5. Well, all set to go, boys. Except to say goodbye to you bums.
I got a dumb brother who went into the advertising business, Hildy. He's got 7 kids, belongs to a country club. He gets worse every year, just a fathead.
Yeah? Listen, if you want to know something, you'll all end up in the copy desk, gray-headed humpback slobs dodging guarantees when you're 90.
Yeah, and you'll be out in the street the minute your contract's up.
Not me. My girl's uncle owns the business.
Has he got a lot of jack?
It's choking him. Look, he gave us $500 in cash for a wedding present. There it is, less than what it cost to get the tickets to New York.
I still say you'll rot in that overstuffed palace of blurbs that you're going to. Why,
Here, what goes on? Williams broke out of the death house.
Here, let me get that phone. Hurry up, sister. This is important.
Hello, give me Rollins.
Come on, give me the desk, Oh, I might have known buying them tickets was bad luck. Hello, Morning Post. Give me Walter Burns. Burns, as an S-T-I-N-K. Waller, Billy Johnson, Earl Williams just slammed out of the death house at the county jail. Yeah, don't worry, Wall, I'm on the job. Yeah. Call you back. Give me Walter Burns. Waller, listen. I got the whole thing. Got it from Jacoby. Sure, it's exclusive. It's a pip. Only get this. It cost me $260 to bribe the guy. The dough my girl gave me to get us to New York. Okay, all right. But don't forget to send that dough. Look, this is the jailbreak of your dreams. This profound thinker The alienist they hired to examine Williams. Yeah, the one from Vienna. Yeah, well, he decided to make Williams reenact the crime. Shut up and listen. He had to have a gun to reenact it with. And who do you suppose supplied the gun? The sheriff. The sheriff gave his gun to the professor gave it to Earl, and Earl shot the professor right in the stomach. The professor's in the hospital, Williams is evaporated, and the sheriff's gone nuts. Ain't it perfect? Hold the phone, Walter, I'm not finished yet. Send that dough over right now. I just did this as a personal favor. I'm leaving town. No, I don't get married. Tell the guy to hurry with it. I'll wait here. Oh, hello, Peggy.
And what was that?
Well, nothing. I was just telling Burns I was through, that's all. Hello, darling.
Oh, now, Hildy, you haven't done something foolish with our money.
No.
Then I think I better take care of it from now on.
Now, sweetheart, it's going to be perfectly all right.
Oh, then you haven't got it.
No, not this minute, but he's sending it right over. Walter, I mean. It'll be here any minute.
Walter? Oh, Hildy, that man makes you do everything he wants. You're just a string around his finger.
Oh, baby, listen. I was just here by accident, and something happened. I had to use some of our money to get information. Now, I'll get it back.
Look, Hildy, Mother's downstairs in a taxi cab. I'm just ashamed to face her. If she knew about that money, well, it's all we've got in the world, Hildy. We haven't even got a place to sleep except the train.
Well, I'll tell you what. You and Mother go to the station and get the baggage checked. Here's the tickets.
You mean you're not coming?
Oh, of course I'm coming. I'll meet you both at the information booth.
Oh, it's all that Walter Burns. You simply can't resist him.
Come on, Hildy. Tip on Williams' hideout. We go with the riot squad.
Well, okay. Wait.
Oh, you're not going with them?
Oh, Peggy, wait for me at the information booth.
Oh, we'll watch downstairs first to see you don't go anywhere with the riot squad.
Okay, baby. I'll just finish up here for a few minutes and meet you under the clock.
All right, Hildy. But if you don't come, I'll never trust you again. So there.
Oh, I have to get married on a day like this.
Is this the press room? I'm looking for the sheriff.
I'm the sheriff.
You're certainly a hard fellow to find.
Well, what do you want? I'm the mayor.
Well, I'm Pincus, a messenger from the State House. This is from the governor.
What's from the governor?
The reprieve for Earl Williams.
For who? Wait a minute. Who else knows about this?
Well, they were all standing around when he wrote it. It was after they got back from fishing.
Get the governor on the phone.
They ain't got a phone. They're duck shooting now.
Oh, a lot of blasted nimrods. Pure politics.
We got to think fast before those lying reporters get hold of this. What'll we tell them?
Tell them the party is through in this state on account of you. Here, you. What's your name?
Pincus.
You never arrived with this, whatever it is. Get that?
Yes, I did.
How much do you make a week?
$40.
How would you like a job for $350 a month?
Me?
All you have to do is to lay low and keep your mouth shut. Here, go to this address. It's a nice, homey little place. Tell her Fred sent you.
Listen, Burns. I'm waiting here. Where's the guy with my dough? If you try to double-cross me, I'll... Holy mackerel, I'm seeing go. Earl Williams just crawled through the window. Hang up. I'll call you right back. Williams, I saw you when that searchlight went past the window. Drop that gun.
It ain't loaded. I fired all the bullets already. I surrender. I couldn't hang onto that roof any longer. You know, I'm not afraid to die. I was telling the fellow that when he handed me the gun.
Shut up a second while I lock that door.
Waking me up in the middle of the night. Talking to me about things they don't understand. Calling me a radical. I'm an anarchist.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with bombs. It's the philosophy that guarantees every man freedom.
Yeah.
All those poor people being crushed by the system. All those boys that was killed in the war and in the slums. All of those slaves to a crust of bread. Hear them crying.
Shut up, will you?
Go on. Take me back. Hang me. I done my best.
Hildy! I know you're in there. Mama says she's tired of waiting.
No, shut up! No, not you, Peggy. Get me the managing editor. Get me Walter Burns, but quick.
Hildy, Mama wants you to come right down this minute.
Oh, Peggy, Hello, Walter. Something big has happened. I captured Earl Williams in the press room. Get over here right away!
In just a moment, you will hear the second part of Academy Award. When you ask for a tube of Squibb Dental Cream, you're really asking for a tube of pure refreshment. There's refreshment in the flavor of Squibb Dental Cream. It's so cool and tangy, like the taste of tender green mint. There's refreshment in the brisk action of the Squibb Dental Cream. It wakes up your mouth, leaves teeth and gums feeling delightfully clean. But that isn't all. You can taste, feel, and see the refreshing difference when you use Squibb Dental Cream. It helps to bring out the natural sparkle of your smile, because the special polishing agent in this quality dentifrice is one of the safest, softest, yet most effective known to dental science. In every way, Squibb Dental Cream lives up to the famous standard of perfection that distinguishes all the great family of Squibb products. Try Squibb Dental Cream. Taste, feel, and see the refreshing difference. Before we bring you part 2 of Front Page, we want to thank the writers of this picture, Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur, for making the story available. And now the House of Squibb presents part 2 of Academy Award, starring Pat O'Brien and Adolphe Menjou in Front Page.
All right, Hildy. Where's Earl Williams?
Did you bring my money?
You'll get your money. Where is he?
In that desk.
Let me out. I can't stand it.
Shut up. You're sitting pretty.
For the love of Mike, Mother!
What's the matter here?
Who's she?
It's my girl's mother.
What are you doing?
Shut up!
I won't shut up. You're doing something wrong. What's in there?
Oh, Louis. Louis, come in here.
Yeah, boss.
Take this lady over to Black Mike's and lock her up. See that she doesn't talk to anyone on the way.
What's that?
Okay.
Oh, Waller, you can't do that.
Tell him it's a case of delirium tremens.
Listen, Waller, this will get me in a terrific jam. Don't worry, Mother. This is only temporary.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
Let go of me. I got to get my girl.
Your girl? Why, in time of war, you could be shot for what you're trying to do.
I'm nuts! There's your story in that desk.
Story? We got the city hall where we want him. We're going to crucify those jerks. We'll keep Williams undercover until morning, so the Morning Post can break the story exclusive. Then we'll let the governor in on the capture. He can share the glory. Why, you sap? They'll be naming streets after you over this.
Yeah, but we can't leave Williams here.
No, we'll get the boys to move him in that desk over to our office. Get that typewriter.
Huh?
Start pounding out a lead. Come on, snap into it.
How much do you want on it, Waller?
Hello, this is Burns. Put Duffy on. Snap into it. What? Hildy, give me all the words you got. Hello, Duffy. I want 10 Huskies over here at the press room right away. Now listen, Duffy. I want you to tear out the whole front page. That's what I said. The whole front page out. Hildy Johnson's writing the lead.
Hildy!
What the devil do you want?
Hildy!
What?
You can't come in here, miss. Get out.
Listen, darling.
Where's Mother?
I don't care if there's a million dead, Duffy. Make room for this story.
Peggy, I got to ask you to do something, a big favor.
You're not coming.
Take all those Miss America pictures off page 6. Hold it, Duffy.
You're doing this to him. He was going and you stopped him.
Get out of here.
Peggy, I can explain.
You'll keep your mouth shut. Hello, Duffy. What? I don't care. Jump the Louis Kahn controversy. Spike it.
Peggy, you're marrying a newspaper man, not a junk-headed fancy boy.
Oh, you never did love me, or you couldn't talk to me that way.
I can't stand it in here. I'm smothering to death.
Get back in there, you mock turtle. Not you, Duffy. Put Butch on.
Oh, this is the end.
I don't give a... Don't leave me, Peggy.
Keep it coming, Hildy boy. Get the story out. Hello, Butch. Never mind the audition for the mail train. Hold it up. Stop the presses. Listen, you're not working for the advertising department. Keep on this wire.
Boss, we hit a patrol wagon. It was on the wrong side of the street.
Where's Mother?
I should know. She beat it someplace, I guess, or they took her to the morgue.
You moron. Didn't you even lock her up someplace?
I couldn't, boss. I told you we hit a patsy wagon, and I'm that way with the cops just now.
Oh, she's dead. That finishes me. I killed her. I let you send her away. Now how can I face Peggy?
If it was my own mother, I'd carry on for the paper.
You gotta get me out of this desk. I'm choking.
Shut up, you. It's better than hanging.
Here you are, Sheriff.
All right. Wise guys. Thought you were going to get away with something, didn't you? We know you got Williams. Yeah, where are you hiding him, you double-crossing heel?
Let go of me. My mother is dead.
Who do you think you are, busting in here like this?
You can't bluff me, Burns. I don't care who you are or what paper you're editor of.
Let go of me, Sheriff, or...
Let go of me, you punks.
Hey,
got a gun.
Give me that. I got a right to carry a gun if I want it.
Not this gun. This happens to be the gun that Earl Williams shot his way out with. You're under arrest, Johnson. You too, Burns.
Who's under arrest, you pinhead? You realize what you're doing?
Yep. Send for the mayor, boys.
I won't make up with him, Mother.
Who did it, madam?
That man there, officer.
Mother, are you all right, Mother?
What's the idea? What are you cops doing in here?
This dame says she was kidnapped.
That man was in charge of everything. He told them to kidnap me.
Are you referring to me, madam?
Ah, kidnapping, eh?
And I'll tell you something more. I'll tell you why they did it.
Please, Mother!
Come on, Hildy, we got to get bail.
I was in here, and they had some kind of a murderer. They were hiding him.
They were what? Mother, shut up!
Madam, you're a cockeyed liar.
Don't shoot. I'm smothered. I give up. Let me out.
Aha! Harboring a fugitive from justice.
That's him. That's the one they were hiding.
Oh, you gray-haired old Judas.
So you got him, eh, Sheriff? Good work. Good work.
Yep, Mayor, there they are. Look kind of natural, don't they, with those handcuffs on?
Sheriff, you're going to wish you'd never been born.
A sight for sore eyes. Well, it looks like you boys bit off more'n you can chew.
Yep, looks like about 10 years apiece for them.
Oh, go suck your fat head.
These guys are going to be in office about 2 days more. Then we're pulling their noses out of the feed bag.
I sent for the district attorney. You know what you smart boys will be doing, making brooms at the state pen.
I want a lawyer. I got a right to have a lawyer. Hildy, call my lawyer.
No lawyers are going to be able to help you, Burns.
This is the Morning Post you're talking to.
Yeah, the power of the press.
Sheriff in here?
Yeah, the ugly one. That's your man.
Here's your reprieve, Sheriff.
Get out of here!
You can't bribe me.
What's this?
Get out of here, you!
I won't. Here's your reprieve.
What?
I won't take their graft or their bribes. I'm a family man.
Who was bribing you?
They were. They wouldn't take the governor's reprieve for Williams.
This is a frame-up.
Oh, murder, huh? You were going to murder Williams. Oh. Mr. Pincus, you are a stirring character, a really great man. Now just step right over to this phone and dictate your true story of how the mayor and the sheriff defied an order of the governor of this state and were going to go ahead and hang a man that had been reprieved just so they could make a little character before an election. Step right over here, Mr. Pincus.
Now, wait a minute, boys. Wait a minute. Maybe we've been too hasty. Let's talk this thing over. Take their handcuffs off, you blundering idiots.
Yes, sir.
Right over this way, Mr. Pincus.
If you're going to print my story in the paper, maybe you'd like this picture of my wife.
Why, Mr. Pincus, how thoughtful of you. A very, very handsome woman.
Thank you.
Hildy, get on that phone. Hello, Duffy. Listen. Tear out that whole front page. Yeah, tear it out again.
Oh, Hildy, are we really going to New York this time?
You know we are, darling.
Why, I wouldn't let him stay. Go on, Hildy, before I make you city editor.
Hurry up, Peggy. Better get that train. He means it.
Any objections to my kissing the bride?
No. Go ahead. Kiss the guy, Mrs. Johnson.
I wish there was time to get you a little wedding present, but wait a minute. This watch of mine.
Oh, no, Walter. You make me feel like the bride.
Shut up. It was a present from the big boss himself. If you look inside, you'll find a little inscription. To the best newspaper man I know. When you get to New York, Hildy, you can scratch out my name and put yours in its place, if you want it.
Oh, you know I wouldn't do that.
Oh, go on, Hildy, if Mr. Burns wants you to. You don't want to hurt his feelings.
Well, this is the first and last thing I ever got from a newspaper.
Well, goodbye, Mr. Burns. You know, I always had a queer opinion of you, Mr. Burns. I still think you're a little peculiar, and so does Mother. But you're all right. Underneath, I mean. I think you're a peach.
So are you. You look just like a little flower.
Goodbye, you big baboon.
Goodbye.
Hello, Duffy. What's the first stop of the 1240 to New York? That's right. I want you to send a wire to the chief of police. Tell him to meet that train and arrest Hildy Johnson and bring him back here. Wire him a full description. The dirty bum stole my watch.
Only a little more than a generation ago, druggists had to compound many doctors' prescriptions from natural products purchased in such crude forms as roots, bark, leaves, and seeds. There was no other way. But today, your pharmacist starts his work with drugs which have already been scientifically purified and refined for him. First to produce many such drugs, the House of Squibb has played a vital part in the swift development of the profession of pharmacy. And so today, the uniformity, purity, and efficacy of many prescribed medicines can be traced to the uniformity, purity, and efficacy of the Squibb products used in their making. Your pharmacist, like your doctor, knows from daily experience how much Squibb's standards of quality mean to the cause of human health. He knows that every product bearing the Squibb name is the result of a quest for perfection that never ceases. That's why Squibb is a name you can trust. Next week, another great picture. The House of Squibb will present Academy Award starring Frederick March in A Star is Born. Today's performance of Front Page was written for radio by Frank Wilson, with an original musical score composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Our producer-director is Dee Engelbach. Pat O'Brien, whose performance you enjoyed today as Hildy Johnson, is soon to be seen in RKO's production Crack-Up. Adolphe Manjou, who played the part of Walter Burns, may currently be seen in Sam Wood's RKO production Heartbeat. This is Hugh Brundage bidding you good night until next week at the same time, when you're invited to listen again to Academy Award, presented by the House of Squibb, a name you can trust. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
That famous year when lovely ladies get a break. In other words, it's leap year. Well, forgive me, ladies, just this once if I hand out a tip to the bachelors. And that is, look before you leap, boys. Look into the important matter of food. And if she can't make biscuits and can't make pies, just be sure she does know about Jell-O. For a shimmering mold of glowing Jell-O has saved many a meal. That's because Jell-O tastes so good, full of extra rich fruit flavor, real fruit flavor, as refreshing and appetizing as fresh ripe fruit. That fruit goodness is sealed right in. It's full-bodied and satisfying. But just remember, you won't find it in any other gelatin dessert. No other has Jell-O's luscious, extra-rich flavor. There is only one Jell-O, and only Jell-O tastes twice as good as ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm terribly sorry to announce that Mary Livingston will be unable to appear on tonight's program owing to a very sudden attack of laryngitis, which has resulted in the complete loss of her voice. But she will be with us again next Sunday night. Oh, Kenny, I didn't see Johnny leaving the orchestra. Where is he?
I don't know, Don. I don't see Jack around either.
Well, this is a fine state of affairs. Wonder what could have happened to them.
I saw them get into a car about an hour ago. Hope they didn't meet with an accident. Maybe that's them.
Hello. Oh, hello, Jack. Where are you? There you are? Well, how did it happen? Well, don't worry. We'll come right over.
What's the matter, Don?
Why, Jack and Johnny were arrested for speeding and knocking over a telegraph pole.
Gee, isn't that awful?
Hey, Underwood, tune in the county jail and see if you can pick up Jack Benny, please. Okay.
If I had the wings of an angel, da-dum-dum-dum-dee-da-da-dum.
Hey, you in cell number 6. Shut up.
All right. Say, what are you in for, buddy?
I'm the keeper here.
Oh, pardon me. Say, what do you get to eat here?
Bread and water.
What, no Jell-O? It's a fine jail. Hey, Johnny, where are you?
Upper 7.
Oh, you couldn't get a lower, huh?
Quiet, you mug.
All right. Who does he think he's talking to? What a jail. I feel like a quarter in Don Wilson's pocket. I'll never get out.
This way, miss. Here's the guy you want. Talk at a distance and make it snappy.
Why, it's Mary's sister. Hello, Mamie. What happened to Mary?
She's got laryngitis, Jack, and she sent me over to see if I could do something for you. What happened?
Well, we left Johnny's house driving to the studio, and we were only going 72 miles an hour.
Gee, they can't put you in jail for that.
They can't? Where do you think I am, in Bermuda? Of course, we had a slight accident. I ran into a telegraph pole.
Gee, this is a nice room you've got, Jack. Did you have to take a leak?
Yes.
Where's Johnny's room?
In the next cell. Oh, Johnny. Here's Mary's sister. You remember Mamie?
Oh, sure. Hello, Mamie.
Hello, Johnny.
What are you laughing at?
Gee, look at Johnny's haircut. It reminds me of a popular song.
Well, what do you mean?
It's round and round. Whoa, ho, 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 ho. It's round and round.
Stop clowning, will you?
Say, Mamie, can't you do something to get us out? I don't want to stay here all night.
Yeah, don't you know anybody?
Sure, Jack. I know one of the biggest politicians in town. He's a great friend of mine, and he'll get you out in no time. Where's the phone?
There's one over in the corner there with a ball and chain on it.
Okay.
Gee, I hope you can do something, Johnny.
So do I.
Hello, operator. Get me Michigan 4099. Yes.
Gee, it was nice of Mary to send her over.
I'll say.
Hello, is this you, Matt? This is Mamie. Yeah. How are you, you big palooka?
The cinch, Johnny, isn't it?
Hey, Matt. Where did you go after you left the Grove last time? Oh, did you? No. Yes. No.
Get to the point, Mamie, will you? For heaven's sake.
What's that? Sure. Oh, sure, I'll be glad to. See you next Friday night. Thanks, Matt. Goodbye.
Why, Mamie, I thought you were going to fix it for me.
Oh, gee, I forgot to ask them.
Oh.
But don't worry. I've got a date with them next Friday.
Well, there he is, young fella. Now talk quick and make it snappy.
Oh, hello, Kenny.
Hello, Jack. Gee, I'm sorry to see you here.
Me too. There's Johnny in the next cell.
Say, Kenny, you live here in Los Angeles. Can't you do something for us? Sure. I know the biggest politician in town. Where's the phone?
Never mind. We just had that.
Say, Jack, I heard you were going to be here a long time, so I brought you a copy of Anthony Adverse.
Anthony Adverse? Thanks, Kenny.
You see, Jack? You think you had bad luck? Anthony Adverse.
You should have had laryngitis instead of Mary.
Well, I'm just trying to cheer you up, you little convict.
Say, Keeper, I want to see Jack Benny and Johnny Green.
Well, there they are. Now make it snappy.
Oh, hello, Don. Gee, I'm glad you dropped over.
I don't see you, Jack. Where are you?
Right here in cell 6.
Well, don't forget the Jell-O. Cell 6 delicious flavors. Strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime.
Even in jail, I get that. Oh, Don, can't you do something for us?
Certainly, Jack. I've made arrangements with the judge so that you can broadcast from here for your next 2 Oscars.
That's fine. Where's the microphone?
Right here.
Well, give it to me. Stand by, Kenny. Well, hello, folks. This is the J-Lo program. And Kenny Baker will now sing Little Rose of the Rancho from the motion picture Rose of the Rancho.
Sing, Kenny.
I may come along tonight and bring a mandolin. Oh, mandolin or a violin. I may come along tonight and sing a serenade. Yes, but badly played. Every single phrase would sing your praise, and I would be sincere. What would I say? What could I say? I could call you a flame or a flower. I could call you a song or a star. But I know, little rose of the rancho, I could never say how wonderful you are. I could call you a gift from the angels, for I feel in my heart you're divine. I could call you the only one ever loved. Oh, but
listen to the prisoners applauding. That was Little Rose of the Rancho, sung by Kenny Baker, coming to you from the grill room of the county jail. That was very nice, Kenny, but you were behind 2 bars of music.
That's better than being behind 8 bars like you are.
Oh.
Come on, visitors, your time is up.
Who, me?
No, your time is my time.
Well, see you later, Jack. We'll see what we can do.
So long, Don.
Bye, Johnny.
Bye.
So long, fellows.
So long. Hey, Johnny, there's some awful-looking characters in this jail, aren't there?
I'll say.
Look at that colored fellow over there in the opposite cell.
Yeah, I wonder what he did.
Hey, son.
You calling me?
Yeah. How long you in for?
I'm here on parole. Leavenworth's in my home.
Hey, you must have done something. What are you in for?
Well, they gave me 15 years for drawing money out of a bank without a bank book.
They did?
Yeah. Then they gave me 20 years for stopping the man that tried to stop me.
No kid.
Then they gave me 7 years for toting a razor without shaving cream.
Well, is that all?
No. Gave me 30 days more for just being no good.
Oh, say, what's your name?
Clarence News.
Clarence News? Say, wait a minute. Listen, I saw you in a picture.
Yeah, they gave me 10 more years for that.
That's too bad.
I sure is in trouble.
Well, so are we. This is the worst mess I was ever in.
Oh, Johnny, it isn't so bad.
My father and mother will be worried sick. Gee, it's a tough spot for me.
What's tough about it? Sure, we're in trouble. But listen, fellas, all of you prisoners, I can tell you a story I heard the other day that'll make you glad you're living, jail or no jail. Have you got a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen to this. It's one of the saddest stories you've ever heard. This will make you glad you're living. Listen. Once, there were 3 lobsters living up in Maine. A mother lobster, a father lobster, and a baby lobster. Eating, sleeping, and leading a healthy outdoor existence. When one day the baby lobster was caught and taken away from its parents. For 20 years had passed. They'd given up hopes of ever seeing their baby again. And one day when they were in Rhode Island visiting some relatives, the father and mother lobster were caught and thrown into the window of a seafood restaurant. When lo and behold, right in front of them they saw a great big giant lobster, the largest one in the entire window, loafing on a piece of ice. They recognized him immediately as their long-lost son, so they had a great reunion. Finally, the mother lobster said, "Son, tell me, how is it in all these 20 years you managed to keep out of hot water, that you weren't eaten?" And the son replied, "I'll tell you, Ma. I'm the big lobster that the waiter always shows the customer that the customer never gets." Now, isn't that sad, Johnny?
Yes, Jack, that's the worst story I've ever heard.
Jack.
Hey, just a minute, miss. You can't come in here whenever you please.
Who can't? I'm a taxpayer.
Mamie, did you do anything?
Did you get us a lawyer or something?
Oh, yes, I knew I had something to tell you. I got the best lawyer in town.
Now you're talking.
He's a criminal lawyer.
He is?
Yes, he gets out of jail today.
Well, all right, anybody. For heaven's sake, go and get him. Huh?
Wait a minute, Jack. Mary just baked you a nice cake and sent it over. Here.
Oh, thanks.
Say, did anybody see a bunch of keys around?
Keys? Not me, Keeper. Did you lose them?
Quiet, Jack. They're in the cake.
I got a gang of musicians who were found loitering on Hollywood Boulevard. Say, who's got my keys?
I haven't.
Well, give me that cake. That'll do.
Oh, all right, here.
Come on, you guys. Get in there. Why, Jack, that's my orchestra.
It is?
See, I knew they'd get in trouble without me.
Say, wait a minute. Where's the piano for Johnny?
That's in the cake, too, Jack.
Well, what are we waiting for? Eat, John.
Hey, you. What's the idea of sawing those bars?
Oh, pardon me. I'm just killing a little time, that's all. You know, there's really nothing to do around here. If I cause any damage, I'll be glad to pay for it. Huh?
Oh, yeah? Say, where did you get that saw?
I gave it to him. I belong to a sawing circle.
If I had the wings of a flower, pardon me, is Mr. Judge Bennett stopping here?
Yeah, here he is in cell number 6.
Well, hello, stranger.
Hello.
Why, you're a fugitive from a train gang, eh?
Yeah, say, I didn't know you were a lawyer.
What else? Here's my card. Justus and Flapperman.
Yeah, which one are you?
Clarence Barrow.
Oh.
Now, Babyface Benny? Now, please, explain the whole situation. What did you do?
Well, I was driving my car, and I...
You didn't do it.
Oh, yes, you did. We have 3 witnesses.
Mamie, will you please go home?
Now, give me a rough idea of what happened. I won the full details.
Well, I was driving 72 miles an hour and ran into a telegraph pole.
You were going 15 miles an hour and ran into a toothpick. Remember that.
Well, how do you know?
I got 3 witnesses coming from Chicago. Now, Mr. Bennett, the judge will ask you plenty questions. Like, for instance, where were you on the night of April 12th at 4:45?
Well, I don't remember.
That's it.
But supposing he asks me questions about the accident.
You don't remember.
Listen, I was driving 72 miles an hour and I knocked down a pole.
Don't be foolish. You wasn't driving and the pole knocked you down.
Yeah, but what if the court proves different?
Then we'll give a hideous cover.
What's that?
$10 extra. But don't worry, I'll get you out of this. I just won my last case.
Who was it?
A fellow was parking his car in front of a hydrant and I got him over 10 years.
Do me a favor. Will you go over there and defend Johnny Green?
Where is he?
Right there in the next cell.
Oh, you're Johnny Green, I'm presuming?
Yes?
Well, what didn't you do?
I don't remember.
Likewise. You want me to handle your case or not?
I don't have an aspirin.
Well, that's out of my line. Now, Mr. Bailey, I already talked to the judge on the way over here, and he said he'd fine you boys $3 apiece and close the case.
Well, then what are you waiting for?
$3 apiece, he won't. He's got to make it 2 for 5 or nothing.
I'll pay him the $6 and get us out of here.
Let me do the worrying, please. But sometimes I go there for 3 months and worry about a case like this. Of course, you know, I got to get my usual retainer.
Now, what do you get?
$12. You know, stationery stamps and incidentals.
Well, here, all I got is $5.
All right, I'll sue you for the balance.
Well, where can I get you if I want you?
Cell 4. I'm stopping here, too, you know. But please, don't worry about anything. Look there, there's a piano over there, and I've done the music. Cheer up and play something. Come on, prisoner, have a sense of time. Let me do the worrying. Around and around, ho, ho, ho. Give me up, Napoleon.
That was Music Goes Round and Round with Johnny Green in Seattle. And now we take the microphone to the courtroom for the trial of Jack Benny and Johnny Green. Order in the court.
Good morning, Judge.
Where do I know you from?
I read your magazine.
Mamie, you're in a courtroom. Sit down here with me.
I will now call the case of Jack Benny and Johnny Green versus the telegraph pole.
That's us.
Is your attorney here, Mr. Benny?
Good morning, Your Honor. If it pleases the court, I'll sit down.
It seems that a certain Jack Benny and a certain Johnny Green were driving 72 miles an hour and ran into a defenseless telegraph pole. Is the attorney for the pole here?
He's crazy.
Then I will call the first witness, John Wilson.
That sounds familiar.
What is your occupation, Mr. Wilson? I am a salesman for Jell-O, the largest selling gelatin dessert in the world. Are you acquainted with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. What kind of a fellow is Jack Benny? Well, Judge, I don't know just how to describe him, but if you ever see two men sitting in a cafe and one of them reaches for the check, the other one is Jack Benny.
Drinking check to check, some joke.
That sounds like one of Mary's jokes.
Yes, he gave it to me.
Order in the court. Where's Johnny Green?
Oh, he went home.
I don't blame him. Well, that's all, Mr. Wilson. I will now call the defendant. Mr. Benny, take the stand.
Thank you. A funny thing happened to me on the way to the studio.
Quiet.
You
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
I object.
Objection overruled. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you.
I don't remember. Is that right, lawyer?
Precisely.
Were you or were you not stepping on the gas at the rate of 72 miles an hour?
I don't remember. You'll have to ask my foot.
What do you mean you don't remember?
I object.
Why do you object to that question, attorney?
That's embarrassing to my client and unprofitable to me.
Next witness. Miss Mary Livingston, take the stand.
He's got laryngitis.
I'm taking your place. What do you want, sour puss?
You swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, 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 nothing but the
You need a new
truth.
needle, Judge.
How long have you known the defendant, Jack Benny?
I object. How am I doing, Judgy?
Now tell me, young lady, what is your occupation?
I wash dishes and double for Mary Livingston.
Were you or were you not with Jack Benny at a party this afternoon?
I object.
What right have you to object?
He don't remember. Is that right, Jack?
Precisely.
Hey, wait a minute, attorney. Didn't I once send you to San Quentin for grand larceny?
You got me that time, Judge. It's awful warm in here. I think I'll go home.
I object.
It wouldn't help you. Goodbye.
Now, Mr. Benny, didn't you have to leave Waukegan, Illinois in a hurry in 1912?
Now I object. Say, listen, Judge. Didn't you attend a party in Culver City last night and with a pretty wild affair?
I object.
And when you got home that night, didn't you try to open your door with a shoehorn?
I object.
Oh, you do, eh? And weren't you seen at the Trocadero last Wednesday night with a beautiful blonde?
I object. It was Mary.
Oh, yeah? Then I object.
Order. Order in the court.
How much time we got left, Judge?
Only about 3 minutes. Are there any more witnesses?
Yes, Johnny Green's orchestra.
Take the stand, boys. Order! What were you boys doing this afternoon between the hours of 4 and 5?
Tell 'em, boys.
I'll never forget the first bicycle I ever had. I was 9 years old, and boy, did I think that bike was a prize. All nice and shiny and new, and painted in great big letters on it was the legend, Ease and Speed. Well, that's one thing bicycles and Jell-O have in common. Jell-O is one of the easiest and speediest desserts you can make. For instance, for a tip-top wintertime dessert, try jellied orange dessert. Here's what you do. Cut 4 oranges into sections, combine with a cup of sugar, and let stand for about 10 minutes. Then dissolve a package of delicious fruity orange Jell-O and pour over the fresh oranges. Chill and serve in sherbet glasses. It's grand, bright and gay and sunny to look at, and delicious to eat. And you'll hardly know where the fresh fruit stops and the Jell-O starts. For Jell-O is crammed full of real fruit flavor, extra rich, twice as good. Just be sure you get the one and only genuine Jell-O.
Number of the 17th program in the new Jell-O series, and we'll be with you again next Sunday night at the same time. And you know, folks, Mary, with her laryngitis, has been here all the time listening to this program. How did you like it, Mary?
I can't talk.
See, now I can. See, I told you. Good night, folks.
The tune You Took My Breath Away is from the picture Coronado, and Got a Brand New Suit is from the production At Home Abroad. This program has come to you from the new NBC studios in Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counter Spy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy. Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Harding, Counter Spy. Calling Washington.
United States Counter Spies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the bouncing bank robber. Another Counter Spy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counter Spy. Sometimes Counter Spy cases extend over a period of years. Tonight's case, however, extended over a period of hours. The most exciting 6 hours your Counter Spies ever experienced. River City, 10 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. In a building on the north side, David Harding, chief of the Counter Spies, was completing a routine field office investigation. In another building on the outskirts of the city, the Merchants Federal Bank and Loan Association was preparing to close. A few customers were at the teller's window. Then, two men entered quietly from the street, stopped, and looked around.
It's an overdraft there.
You stay back, Gus, and cover those goons behind the railed-in space. I'll take the cashier.
Okay, boys. All you have now. Fine. Yes, it's over there. If it's an overdraft, there's no difference about it. All right. Yes, can I help you, sir?
Yeah, sure, cashier. Take this briefcase.
Why,
This is a stick-up. Start shoving the money into that case fast and quiet, and nobody will get hurt.
Yes, sure.
Come on, faster. Ring the burglar alarm, will you? Okay, hero, take this. All right, everybody, back against the wall. No tricks.
Wait. The doors. Metal door sliding shut.
Nobody move. I said, lady, nobody move. Yes, cut that out. You can't knock these doors down.
The cops will be here. We gotta get out. How do we do it, Trace? I'll bet our car's lammed already.
That plate glass window. We'll jump through. Follow me.
We'll get caught. I can't go through the window.
Okay, stay here, but you won't be talking to no cops.
Good heavens, he smashed right through that plate glass window.
Grace, I was just going to take off.
Do it now, fast.
Grace, that cop.
Drive. I'll take care of him. Got him. Take the next corner.
Attention all law enforcement officers. 11th State Alarm. Watch for 1946 gray Buick sedan. Maryland license plates. Last three numerals 025. Driven by man and woman wanted for attempted federal bank robbery and for murder. Report all information directly to David Harding, Counter Spy Field Office, River City. This pair armed and dangerous. Time 3:05 p.m.
Hello, Peters.
Hello, Edwards. Mr. Harding still inside the bank?
No, sir. He just left for the hospital with the wounded hold-up man. The chief wants you to question the bank manager. He's inside.
Right. You remain here with the car for any radio reports.
Mr. Peters, he just went berserk. 2 people wounded, 2 dead.
Yes, I know, Mr. Fulton. But what about the killer's appearance?
Oh, clean cut, very big, athletically built, blonde hair.
No question about the athletic part.
No.
You say he leaped straight through this window without any hesitation.
Yes.
Wonder he didn't cut himself to pieces.
Well, he was wearing a very heavy leather jacket, from what I could see.
Mm-hmm.
He ran to about here. His partner said something. Then he turned and shot him, and then continued on straight through the window.
I see. Did you notice how he went through the window?
Definitely. As he leaped, he covered his head with his arms, actually broke the glass with them.
Mm-hmm.
And he landed outside just like a tumbler in the circus.
How do you mean?
Well, you know the trick they have just before they land. They double up, bring their chins down sharply, and actually land on their shoulders and back.
You're very observant, Mr. Fulton.
Well, it happens I took my daughter to the circus 2 nights ago. I couldn't help noticing.
Say, Peters.
Excuse me, Mr. Fulton. Yes, Edwards.
A report just came in on the hold-up car.
Yes?
It was found abandoned in the Rosemount section, 18th Street and Avenue J at 4:10 p.m.
The beat patrolman's guarding it now.
Good. We'll get out there as soon as we can.
Is there any chance, Doctor?
Not much, Mr. Harding. That's why we're using the respirator. It's a wonder this gunman wasn't dead on arrival with these bullet wounds in him.
Well, is there a chance he'll regain consciousness, even for a moment or so?
Well, that's what we're trying to do right now. He's going fast.
Well, try, Doctor, try.
Right. Nurse, another hypodermic.
Adrenaline?
Yes. Alcohol on his chest, nurse. Thank you. There. It'll be a few seconds. Yeah, he's responding. You'd better get over here if you want to talk to him, Mr. Harding. Eyelids moving. Here, I'll remove the respirator. I'd start talking, Mr. Harding.
Can you hear me? Listen. Can you hear me? You know who shot you, don't you?
Red.
But his name. You don't want him to get away. His name.
Brace. Hondo.
Where does he live?
Hideout.
Yes?
Front Street.
Go on.
24.
It's no use, Mr. Harding. That's it.
Brace Hondo. 24-something on Front Street. Well, thank you, Doctor. I hope it's enough.
No, Brace, I won't do it. You're putting me on a spot.
Don't be crazy, Peg. They got descriptions of me over half the town by now. I heard it on the 6 o'clock news.
Why'd you have to start blasting away?
What do you want me to do, sit there and wait for the cops?
What about my description? You think they haven't got that?
Who can describe it, Dame? Besides, you were in the car all the time. It's getting dark now. Look, Peg, there's no two ways about it. We gotta steal a car and lam out of here.
But the whole town's hot. We'd be safer holding up in here.
We'll take that chance. All my life, I've been taking that extra chance nobody else takes. It's always paid off. Besides, babe, they got a murder rap on both of us.
Me? Not me.
Don't kid yourself. You've been in from the start. I fry, you fry. And that's an odds-on bet if we stay here.
Okay, Brace.
Smart girl.
Where do I get the car?
The Farley and Megan Circus is playing a stand just across the river right next to the Arcade Amusement Park.
So?
There's a big lot. Free parking, no attendance. Take the ferry right next to this block across. Go to the lot. There's always some jerk leaves his key in a car. Watch for it, heist it fast, and then get back here.
Hello, Dave. Hospital receptionist told me you'd be in his waiting room.
Peters, you're just in time.
We got a line on the killer's car. It was abandoned.
We can hold that, Peters. The other crook talked before he died.
Oh?
The one who escaped is Brace Hondo, with a hideout on the 2400 block on Front Street, very close to the river, right next to the Arcade Ferry House.
2400 block.
Now, except for one garage, the rest of the block on both sides is old brownstone houses and warehouses.
Uh-huh. Set up a raiding squad?
Yes. Now, we won't have enough of our own men, so we'll have the local police lend us a detail. And have them bring along a loudspeaker and spotlights. It'll be dark shortly. I want at least 50 men so we can cover all the exits in that block. All men assigned to their stations, Peters?
Yes, Dave. Moving into position now. They'll start searching every building on the block at exactly 7:45.
Well, 10 minutes from now. You told them to play it careful. Stay out of sight.
Right. And when we close...
Hey, hold it. What? A girl. Going into that brownstone house. Number 2410.
There was a girl about that age driving the getaway car. One of the bank witnesses said.
Yes, I know. When it's time to start moving in, you and I'll take that building personally.
I got it, Brace. The packet 48, loaded with gas.
Oh, it's about time. It's almost 7:45. Let's go.
No, I need a drink first. I got the jitters.
Where's the bottle? Build it. I'll make
Okay.
sure the coast is clear. Hey, you dumb little...
What's the matter?
Come here. Look down there in the shadows, on the corner, a cop. And there, another one.
Oh, it wasn't me, Brace. I drove right off the ferry and turned the corner. Nobody tailed me, I swear it.
And down there, across the street in that alleyway, more.
What do we do, Brace?
Let's blast our way out. We got an arsenal in this hideout.
No, Brace, I don't want
What
to.
did I tell you about always taking that extra chance?
But I'm scared.
All right, so cry a few tears, but take this automatic. You can handle it. I'll handle the Tommy gun.
Brace, don't.
Shut up. Here it goes. Okay, coppers, here's something for you. Got one. They got an army out there. We'll give them some more. Start shooting, babe. Fire at their flashes.
Okay.
Keep it up, babe.
Oh, Brace! Brace, I'm hit! Oh, my arm.
It's getting too hot, Blake. We'll take the roof. We'll have a better chance in the open.
No, Brace. I couldn't make it.
My heart bleeds for you, babe, but I'm leaving you behind. One more burst, you can hold the fort alone. So long, kid. Give my regards to the cops. I ain't in the mood to deliver them personally.
Hondo, this is Harding. Police and counter spies have every exit covered. Throw your guns out and give yourself up. We'll give you 15 seconds. Then we're coming in after you. 15 seconds from now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Dave, the roof. That shot came from outside.
Spotlights number 1, 2, and 3 on the roof. Quick!
One of our men hit. Dave, look. Hondo's going to try to jump to the ferry building.
Keep those spotlights on the roof. Spotlight number 4. Stay with Hondo.
Dave, he made it. On top of the ferry slip. The spotlights, quick.
All spotlights. Shift to the roof of the ferry slip.
Wow, that must have been a 15-foot leap. He's going to try to make the ferry. It's leaving the slip.
Keep that number 4 spotlight on Hondo. Hold your fire, men. There are passengers on that boat.
Hondo made it. He's on the ferry boat.
Attention, ferry captain. Reverse your engines and return to slip at once. Attention, ferry captain. Reverse your engines and return to Attention, ferry captain.
Engine room.
Your engines.
Engine room. New orders from the wheelhouse.
These are government orders.
Reverse your engines. We're going back to the slip.
You go back, Popeye, and you're a dead sea dog.
Who are you?
The guy with a gun. Now listen, Popeye, signal your engine room for full speed ahead and keep going.
Well, I...
Full speed ahead.
The ferry captain's going ahead, Chief.
Hondo must have reached the wheelhouse, Peters. Have the police on the other side of the river meet the ferry.
Right.
And radio the river patrol for 3 fast boats immediately. We're going after him.
Okay, Dave. We're all aboard.
And cast off. The ferry hasn't reached the other side yet.
Cast off!
Peters, those ferry whistles. They're signaling us.
Yes.
Have them cut our motor.
Cut the motor, pilot. Quick! Dave, that's Morse code.
Hold it. The captain says the gunman dove off the ferry. Radio the other boats to fan out. Throw their spotlights on the river and on both banks. We'll take the center of the fan. Okay, full speed.
Back to Counter Spy in a moment. But first,
Pepsi-Cola hits a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
more and more among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Just compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counter Spy. 5 breathless hours have elapsed since Killer Brace Hondo has held up the Merchants Federal Bank and Loan Association. David Harding and his assistant Harry Peters are slowly closing in on the fugitive murderer.
Pretty misty out here on the river, Peters. See anything?
Not so far, Dave. Not even the other patrol boats. In spite of our search
Patrol
lights.
Boat 3 to Mr. Harding.
Wait.
Patrol Boat 3 to Mr. Harding.
Go ahead, Patrol Boat 3.
We picked up the spot where Hondo may have gone ashore, just above the amusement park and circus.
Head for it, Patrol Boat 3. We'll join you there. Yep. This is where Hondo came ashore, all right, Peters.
Yeah, trail heads to the circus tent.
Edwards,
Yes, Mr. Harding.
call in the other boats. Now contact the police at the ferry slip. Have them cover all exits from the circus lot and the amusement park.
Right, sir.
Also have some men in plain clothes circulate through the crowd. Keep a sharp eye out. Peters now contact the circus management and get their cooperation.
This is terrible, Mr. Harding. The evening crowd's beginning to collect.
That's why we haven't a minute to lose, Mr. Purdy. Now, give me a picture of the way you're set up here.
Yeah, well, the circus and the amusement park are completely on Cove's Point.
Yes, I know. We've got every exit covered, but what about your specific layout?
Well, the amusement park is out at the end of the point. The main entrance to the circus arena there leads to the performer's tent.
Yeah, go on.
And that small entrance over there leads across an open space to the menagerie tent.
Dave, Edwards has the men all placed. We've got about 20 more circulating through the crowd.
Good. Well, now... Hey, wait a minute.
What is it?
There in the arena. See that bedraggled figure?
Oh, it's just a clown that... No, it's not.
He's sopping wet.
That's our man. He's heading for the exit to the menagerie tent. Come on, Peter.
Okay, Mr. Harding. I've got men placed all around the menagerie tent.
Good, Edward. All right, Peter. The PA microphone, please.
Mr. Harding, will there be any shooting?
That's up to Hondo, Mr. Purdy. We'll do our best to avoid it.
I hope you can. Hey, listen to those animals. They're upset and scared.
All right, Dave. Here's the microphone.
Hondo, we know you're in that tent. We've got it surrounded. Now play it smart and give yourself up.
What?
Hold your fire, man. All right, Hondo.
The animals, they'll get excited.
Dave, look.
Our lions are loose.
He's shooting the locks off the animal cages. Edward, warn all our men. Purdy, get your animal men here, quick.
How about Hondo?
Forget him from now. We've got to pitch in before that circus crowd finds out the animals are loose. They'll start a panic.
Hey, mister, where do you think you're going? Roller coaster's under repair.
Quit stalling, sister. Get out of that ticket booth. You're going for a ride with me.
But the coaster's under repair, I tell you.
Does she run it all?
Yes. Oh, now, mister. A gun.
Come on, girlie. Start moving fast.
I hope they get all the animals, Mr. Harding.
We'll do our best, Purdy.
All the rotten tricks.
We've still got Hondo's escape covered. He can't get off this point. What's that noise, Mr. Purdy?
That's the roller coaster. That's funny. It's not supposed to start now.
Hondo.
The roller coaster. Well, he's crazy. Where can he go?
We'll find out. Come on.
Tough spot, Dave. Hard to see the upper part of the coaster.
Mr. Purdy, how's this thing built?
It's a pretty long ride all around. The first long incline starts right here. It goes up to a height of about 70 feet right at the edge of the water.
Wait a minute. I can make out something now, Dave. A man in a leather jacket. It's Hondo all right in the car. Holy smoke, there's a girl with him.
Girl?
Good heavens, the ticket girl from the booth here.
I don't get Hondo's scheme. The roller coaster only goes around and ends up right here again.
Well, he could take a high dive from the top of this first incline into that water. Maybe get away from us after all in the dark. Purdy, how do you stop the coaster?
Oh, yes, right here. This big lever. It stopped.
Dave, Hondo's getting up. Starting to climb forward out of the car.
Fire a warning shot, Peters. Come down, Hondo!
He's firing back.
Holy smoke.
Peters, your gun. Yeah, but fast, Dave. He's almost out of the car.
Look out for the girl.
You got him, Dave.
Come on. We'll climb up that incline. Get him and the girl. What's that?
The car's slipping back. Uh-oh, something's broken. The sawtooth wheels in the middle of the track, they act as a brake.
Car's coming right down here and fast.
It'll be a crash. Stand back and pray for that girl. Come on. Take a look at the girl, Peters. How is she?
He just fainted. No cuts or anything. What luck. How about Hondo?
Here he is in the wreckage.
Your shot did it, Dave.
He was wilder than a wild animal, Peters. Well, this is one case we can close without a trial, and I can't say I'm sorry. It took us just 6 hours.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counter Spy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counter Spy case of the murdering messenger.
The fast-talking man who posed as himself to impersonate someone else. The strange corpse that was discovered a quarter-mile deep in the earth. And the riverboat which carried a cargo of intrigue that exploded in the Crescent City. Be sure to tune in on Thursday for
Case of the Murdering Messenger on Counter Spy. Tonight's Counter Spy program originated in New York and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counter Spy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. You are in a farmhouse on the southern coast of England. The autumn countryside around you desolate and bleak. And you know that in the dusk outside, waiting patiently for you, silently watching for you, is an enemy from whom there may be no escape.
Listen now as Escape brings you Daphne du Maurier's story, The Bird.
On December the 3rd, the wind changed overnight, and it was winter. Until then, the autumn had been mellow, soft. The earth was rich where the plow had turned it. I didn't do the plowing, no. My wartime disability had seen to that. They gave me mostly the lighter repair jobs to do in the 3 days a week that I worked at the farm. A bank to build up or a gate to mend at the far end of the peninsula where the sea surrounded the farmland on either side. Deborah and I had taken a cottage up here to try again, for the sake of the children. And it seemed to be working fairly well. I enjoyed my work on the farm. It was pleasant to pause at midday to eat the lunch that Debbie prepared and brought to me. We'd sit there on the cliff while I ate, and we'd watch the birds.
So many of them, Matt.
Yes. Oh, the autumn's better than spring for watching them.
Oh, why?
Oh, well, in the spring they're content, they're full of purpose, they know where they're going, there's no delay. But then in autumn it's different. The birds that don't migrate seem to follow a pattern of their own.
Pattern?
Great flocks of them here on the peninsula. Restless, uneasy, wheeling, circling, coming to rest, and flying again. The land birds and the gulls down there in the bay. Strange sort of rhythm in their movements.
They don't really go anywhere. Doesn't seem to be any purpose to it.
No. Well, if there is, we don't see it. Restlessness. They're more restless this year than usual, seems to me. Do you know, this morning 2 gulls flew so close they knocked off my cap?
You said yesterday when the school bus let her off, there was quite a few of them overhead as if they'd been followed.
Oh, well, I suppose it means a hard winter. They always seem to know. Perhaps a message comes to them in autumn. A warning.
About winter.
And about death.
Matt.
Many of them will die, and I think they know it. Perhaps they feel they have to spill their motion out before they die. Like people who know their time is up and run about stupidly driving themselves.
I wish you wouldn't talk like that, Nat. That black side of you that stirred up the trouble between us before.
Oh, I'm sorry, Debbie. But it's come over me lately as I've watched them. The land birds mingling with the sea birds in a sort of strange, unnatural partnership. Land and sea. Life and death. That night it turned colder, yet the wind strengthened. Around 2 in the morning, the sound of it beating against the house woke me up. I lay there with this slow, even breathing of Debbie beside me, and I thought of Jill and Johnny in the room across the hall. We seemed safe, secure. And then I heard it. A tapping on the window. At first I thought it was a loose shutter, and then I realized it wasn't. I got out of bed, went to the window, opened it. Suddenly something brushed against my hand. It jabbed at my knuckles, and then was gone over the roof and behind the cottage.
Nat, what?
It's all right, Debbie. It was a bird. I don't know what kind.
Bird?
Wind must have driven it against the windowsill. And my hand's wet. It's blood. Little beggar drew blood.
Good sleep, Nat.
Must have been frightened and stabbed at me in the dark. Well, for the...
Nat, the window seats are distracting.
I've already seen to it. It's some bird trying to get in.
Send them away. I can't sleep with that noise.
All right. All right. All right, off with you. Why, little... Stay away from my face. Out. Get away.
Never in the world.
Did you see that? There were half a dozen this time. They went for me. They tried to peck my eyes.
Oh, Dad.
I'm not making it up, Dick.
Huh? What? It's Jill. Go see what's the matter.
Right. Coming, Jill.
They keep flying at me.
Where's Johnny?
I'm just playing at it. What's the matter?
Quick, get the children out of here.
Bird. The room's full of birds. And my bed.
Get the children out of here and shut the door. Quick. I pushed them out of the room. And now I was alone with the birds. I seized a blanket, and I used it as a weapon, sweeping it right and left. And I could hear the thud of bodies, but they kept coming at me. They're jabbing my hands, my head, trying for my eyes with beaks as sharp as pointed forks. And I wrapped the blanket around my head, beat about with my bare hands, blindly. I don't know how long I fought them. Finally, the beating of wings lessened, and then... But still, I unwrapped the blanket from my face. The cold gray dawn had seeped into the room. The floor was littered with the tiny corpses of the birds. Robins, finches, sparrows, larks. Some had lost feathers in the fight. The others had blood. My blood on their beaks. Sickened, I went to the window. The fierce sea broke harshly in the day. But there was not a bird in sight. Not a sparrow chattered in the hedge, no early thrush or blackbird pecked on the grass for worms. There was no sound at all but the east wind and the sea.
Nat?
I'm all right, Debbie.
Oh, I didn't know what... You're covered with blood.
Some of it's the birds. Look on the floor.
Oh. So many of them.
Yeah, 50. I counted them.
Horrible.
Come on, darling. I'll clean the room later when I have more stomach for it.
It must have been ghastly for
Are
you.
the children all right?
Yes, I put Jill to work making tea. Johnny's in our bed just now asleep. Not why.
The birds? Well, it must be the weather. The sudden change confused them. It has to be that.
The tea's ready, Mummy.
Oh, good.
Did you drive away the birds?
Yes, they're all gone now, Jill.
I hope they won't come again. Perhaps if we put breadcrumbs for them outside the window, they'll eat that and fly away.
Perhaps, dear.
I've already had breakfast. I'd better hurry or I'll be late for the school bus.
But, I'll walk with you to the road, Jill.
Yes, I think that'd be a good idea.
I'll go get my coat and book.
I didn't want her to walk alone.
Nat, they wouldn't come back again.
Well, I'll go over to the farm and find out if they heard anything during the night. You keep all the windows and doors closed. They'll be just to be on the safe side, Hello? Anyone about?
Hello, Mr. Hawkins.
Was the mister around, Mrs. Trigg?
Summer's about, but can you tell me where this cold is coming from? Russia? I've never seen such a change, and it's going on, the wireless says. Something to do with the Arctic Circle.
We didn't turn on the wireless this morning. Fact is, we had trouble in the night.
Oh, Kitty's poorly.
No, not exactly. No, we had some trouble with birds. Why, it sounds absurd, but they flew in the window and attacked us.
Attacked you? Now, Mr. Hawkins.
No, I'm not making it up, Mrs. Trigg. There are 50 dead birds on the floor of the children's bedroom.
Foreign birds.
No, the kind you see about here every day.
Really? Well, you ought to write up and ask the Manchester Guardian. They have an officer for it.
Hey, morning, Hawkins. Mr. Trigg.
Mr. Hawkins been telling about some birds last night.
Oh?
He says they attacked him.
Attack? Are you sure?
Quite.
Never heard of a thing like that before. Hungry, maybe. Looking for food. You put out some crumbs.
Yes, of course. I'll be up tomorrow as usual. Good morning.
Ordinary birds, he says.
Attacked him. Now, what did you take us for, coming around with a story like that? He's a strange one, he is, with those superior airs. You see the look he gave us when we didn't swallow his story? Attacked him. I think he reads too many of those books.
Nat, did you find out anything at the farm?
No. The Triggs' brilliant advice was to put out some crumbs. Debbie, I looked all around this morning. There's not a single bird in sight outdoors.
Where's they've gone?
I don't know.
And the Triggs had no trouble last night?
Not only that, they clearly thought I was imagining it. Oh, I heard Trigg mutter something about my superior airs and reading too many books as I walked away. Nothing's real to those clods until it hits them over the head.
Well, they're nice enough people, Nat. Just that they're isolated up here.
Well, that certainly is a polite word for it.
I haven't been able to face going into the children's room. The birds...
Oh, yes, I'll go and clean it up. I suppose the least I can do is give the little beggars a decent burial. I dropped the dead birds into a sack, went down to the beach to bury them. The wind was bitter cold. I dug a pit in the sand with my heel and started to empty the sack into it, but the wind caught the birds and whirled them along the shore. There was something ugly in the sight, but the tide would take them when it turned. I looked out at the crested breakers, and then I saw them. The gulls. Out there, riding the seas. Thousands. Tens of thousands. They rose and fell in the trough of the sea like a mighty fleet at anchor, waiting for the turn of the tide. Waiting. They stretched as far as my eye could reach. They covered the sea. I started up the steep path home, almost running. Someone should know of this. Someone should be told. But who? And then as I opened the front door, I saw Debbie beside the wireless listening.
Damage and even attacking individuals. It is thought that the
the Arctic airstream is causing the birds to migrate south in immense numbers, and that intense hunger may drive them to attack human beings. Householders are warned to see to their windows, doors, and chimneys, and to take all precautions for the safety of their children. Further bulletins will be issued later.
They've been repeating it every few minutes since you left.
Well, perhaps now those empty-headed idiots at the farm will know that I was...
You sound almost glad.
Oh, don't talk rot, Debbie. It's just that when people with half a brain try to tell me that
Can't you forget that superior attitude of yours even now?
Don't use that word superior to me. I'm sick of it.
So am I, Nat. So am I. You... Oh, I'm sorry, dear. This thing has made me a little nervy, I guess.
Yes, I'm sorry too, Marty.
Nat, one of the bulletins said the birds seem to be waiting. For what?
I don't know. They said the birds are hungry.
What are you doing?
No, the hammer. I'm going to get some boards and see to the doors and windows as they tell you to.
You think they could break in with the windows shut? Those sparrows and robins and such? How could they?
I wasn't thinking about the smaller birds. I was thinking about the gulls.
The gulls?
Debbie, have you ever been close enough to get a good look at a gull's beak? There must be 100,000 of them out there, riding the sea, waiting. The rest of the morning I worked upstairs, boarding the bedroom windows. And I wondered whether they'd take these precautions up at the farm. I doubted it. It'd probably be a big joke to the Triggs. But according to the wireless, it was no joke. At first, some of the bulletins had been light in tone, but as the morning wore on, the concern in the announcer's voice became more and more apparent. Well, after I'd finished upstairs, I took the rest of the lumber down, boarded up the lower floor windows.
What they ought to do is call the army out and shoot the birds. That would soon scare them off.
Debbie, how are we off for food?
Now, Nat, whatever next.
Now, never mind. What have you got in the larder?
Shopping there tomorrow, you know that. I don't keep uncooked food hanging about. It goes off. But I can put some things in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? It's only 3 in the afternoon, and it's almost dark.
What? Why, yes. The sky looks so heavy. Nat, what's the matter? You've gone quite white.
Look. The tide's turned. The gulls.
They've risen.
Circling over the sea. Not a sound from them.
Nat.
I'm going for Jill. I'll wait for her at the bus stop. You keep Johnny inside and keep the door shut. Outside, I looked for a weapon, but a hoe was all I could find. Then I went to the top of the hill and waited. Surf was booming below, and a smudge rose behind the clay hills in the distance. It widened, divided, and spread north, east, south, west. It was a vast cloud of birds. It passed close by, heading inland, up country. They had no business with the people here on the peninsula. Rooks, crows, jackdaws, magpies, birds that usually preyed upon the smaller species. But this afternoon they were bound on some other mission. They've been given the towns, I thought. They know what they have to do. We don't matter so much here. The gulls will serve for us. The others go to the towns. And finally the bus came. When Jill got out, I took her by the hand.
What's the horse for, Daddy?
Oh, I just brought it along. Come along now, darling. Let's go home. It's cold. No hanging about. Huh?
I want to play a bit in the rain.
Not tonight. Now, come on. No dawdling.
Look, Daddy. Look over there. Look at the gulls. They're flying in from the sea. They're so quiet.
Yes, do hurry, darling.
are they flying to?
Oh, up country, I dare say, where it's warmer.
Don't go so fast. I can't keep up.
Hurry.
The gulls, they're circling. It looks like they're waiting for something.
For a signal, an order.
What?
Nothing. Come on, dear, faster.
But I can't go faster.
Wait. There's Trigg in his two-seater.
Looks as though we're in for some fun, Hawkins. Have you heard the news? Everyone's gone bird crazy, talking of nothing else. I'm going to take a crack at him with my gun.
Could you run Joe home first?
Oh, yes, of course. Not room for you too, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's all right. Just get Joe home. Get in, Julia.
You like to come shooting with me?
No, thanks. Have you boarded your windows?
No. A lot of nonsense. They like to scare you on the wireless.
I'd board them if I were you.
Oh, go on. You're windy. Well, see you in the morning. Give you a skull breakfast.
I watched Trigg drive Joe toward the cottage, and then I followed on foot. The sound made me look up. The gulls were approaching. The order had been given, and the farm was their target. The black-backed gulls were leading, and there were bigger birds. Gannets, terns. And suddenly one of them dove at me, missed, rose to dive again, and then came the others, 6, 7, 8 dozen. I dropped the hoe, covered my head with my arms, and ran towards the cottage. They kept coming at us from the air with beating wings. Each stab of a swooping beak tore my flesh. I had to keep them from my eyes. And with each dive, they became bolder. And they had no thought for themselves. When they missed, they crashed, bruised and broken on the ground. And as I ran, I stumbled, kicking their spent bodies in front of me. Now their aims are better, closer to my eyes, closer. And then I reached the door of the cottage. Let me in! It's Nat! Let me in! And then, above me, I saw the gannet, poised against the sky for his dive. The gulls drew back, only the huge gannet. The wings folded suddenly to its body, and it snapped like a stone at me. The door opened, and I flung myself in.
It's Lord. What was that?
A gannet. He'd have split my skull.
Better now?
Yes, thanks. You're quite the wound dresser. Are the children?
In the other room, I didn't want them to see you that way.
No.
Your hands are the worst.
I'll be all right. We'd better all sleep here in the kitchen tonight. I'll bring down the mattresses.
All right. I'll fix something tasty for supper and we can prepare.
Wait.
That sound. What is it?
The birds crowding against the outside of the house, trying to find a way in.
Nat!
No, they can't get in. I tell you, they cannot get in. The boards will hold.
For how long? How long?
Stop it. Here. I'll turn on the wireless. That'll drown them out. There. That's better.
Yes. Anything so I can't hear that horrible rushing.
It's only the food that worries me, Debbie. But now, I've noticed that the birds come in with the tide, but the tide will go out about 9 tonight, and we should have a lull of about 6 hours. I could slip out during that time and go to the farm, see if they can give us something.
Here's London. A national emergency was proclaimed at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Nat!
Measures are being taken to safeguard the lives and property of the population, but it must be understood that these are not easy to effect immediately, due to the unforeseen and unparalleled nature of the present crisis. It is absolutely imperative that everyone remain indoors until further notice. The birds, in vast numbers, are attacking everything in sight. The population is asked to remain calm and not to panic. There will be no further transmission from any broadcasting station until 7 a.m. tomorrow.
It's like this all over, then. All over.
Debbie? About supper, let's forget it. Let's all just try to get some sleep.
back again.
But what time is it?
A little after 3.
The tide's come in again.
There's been a queer smell the last few minutes. Rather like burned feathers.
What? Burned feathers? The chimney. I forgot to keep the fire up. They're coming down the chimney.
No.
Where's the oil?
On the shelf.
Get the oil. Squeezing through the chimney. Stand back. They just throw the oil on the coal. That'll get them.
Dad, I can't stand it.
Get me paper, wood, anything it'll burn. Hurry. Their charred bodies kept dropping down the chimney. I raked them to one side, but more came. I threw on the rest of the oil. We piled papers on it, kindling, anything. The flames roared higher. More bodies. The stench was unbearable. I kept at it. Finally, they gave up. And I went over to the basement. I was sick. Around 9 in the morning, the rustling ceased. I opened the door a crack. Crushed birds were deep about the house, but there was not a living bird in sight. The tide had gone out. Now was my chance to get food and fuel. I ran all the way to the farm. There was no smoke from the chimney. I came round the corner of the house and stopped in the doorway, almost covered with dead birds for Mr. and Mrs. Trigg. What was left of them. Beside him was his gun. Beside her, a broken umbrella. I loaded the 2-seater with all the food I could find, enough for perhaps 3 days, and drove back to the cottage. I told Debbie that Triggs didn't need their car for a while and had told me to take it. She said nothing. And towards nightfall, the birds came back again. We sat by the fire and listened to the rustle as they crowded against the house. But this time there was a new sound. They brought up their heavier forces against us, the birds with larger beaks. I could hear the sound of tiny bits of wood being thrown away.
They'll stay till the tide turns. Then they'll leave. Then they'll come back again. And they'll keep coming back. Nat.
Yes?
The Triggs. They're dead, aren't they?
Yes.
We're all alone. Strange. I feel closer to you than I've ever.
That it should take something like this to bring us. Debbie, you may be interested to know that right now, I do not feel very superior.
Don't, Nat. No, Nat. That's what I do.
I don't know, Debbie. I do not know. I listened to the sound of the splintering wood, and I wondered how many million years of memory were stored in those little brains behind the stabbing beaks, the piercing eyes, now giving them this instinct to destroy mankind with all the depth precision of machines. I switched on the wireless. Was dead. I reached for the cigarette. There was only one left in the packet. I lit it. I threw the empty packet on the fire and watched it burn.
Under the direction of Norman McDonald, Escape has brought you The Bird by Daphne du Maurier, specially adapted for radio by Robert Wright, starring Ben Wright with Virginia Gregg. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Ann Morrison, Ann Whitfield, and John Dodsworth. Your announcer, George Walsh. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens.
You've hidden it. You must have done.
Why would I hide a piece of your jigsaw, Maureen?
I can't finish my 37 years of Last of the Summer Wine jigsaw puzzle when there's a bit of Compo's face missing.
For the last time, I am not a jigsaw saboteur. It might surprise you to learn that I have better things to be doing with my time.
Like what?
Well, like, working.
Working? You spent all yesterday playing chess with Peter.
Calm down, dear.
Unbelievable. Tell me about it.
It's International Women's Day next month. Obviously, it would be great to do something in the museum to commemorate it. But what have you just said, Peter?
Must everybody have a day now?
So I'm taking that as a no. We can't do anything.
I agree with her. Women aren't treated fairly round here.
Thank you, Maureen.
Julian's stolen a piece of my Last of the Summer Wine jigsaw. An important bit as well. Not even part of Nora Batty's stocking her out like that.
What would possess a person to steal Compo's face?
Morning, everyone. I've got that pawn you wanted, Mr. Knight.
I'm sorry?
Alan has been making us a replacement chess piece.
Oh, another great use of our caretaker's time.
Oh, come on. We've been having to use a pepper pot in its place. Can you imagine the indignity? Even communist Russia could run to the full complement of chess pieces.
I'm just glad it wasn't one of the more complicated ones. They take all night. Maybe I could glue them to the board to stop them going missing so often.
Do you do jigsaw pieces, Alan? I might have a commission for you.
And when you get a minute, could you change the light in the ladies? We won't be celebrating International Women's Day this year, but it'd be nice to see some small progress.
Rito.
In the meantime, at least one of you can help me look for that missing piece.
If you think I'm spending my day in some daft jigsaw piece hunting caper, you've another thing coming. Though, strangely, that is rather like a plot of The Last of the Summer Wine. A most fitting tribute.
And Alan has more pressing matters to attend to. We did fancy a new backgammon set, didn't we, Julian?
Oh, come back, Tom. Please come back from London.
Plum House by Ben Cottam and Paul McKenna. Episode 5. The Rather Risky Ramble.
Ta-da! As if by magic.
Were you just waiting behind the door?
No, it was just...
Rub one's lamp and the genie shall appear.
How was that London?
Good? Yeah, good. Great conference.
Did you check out that little place in Soho I was telling you about?
Yes, I did, yep. Lots of men with no shirts on having cocktails.
The working man gets hot, Tom. He needs to quench his thirst.
And dance to Diana Ross, apparently. Still, how things been back here?
Julian's hidden a bit of my jigsaw.
Just thou think, because thou art virtuous, there shall be no more...
Guys, stop! Everybody! Please stop! Guys. What is going on here?
We're arguing, Tom, like we always do.
Well, luckily for you, someone's just been on a team management and crisis resolution course.
Trust HQ and Dancing with Boys in Basements. You have been a busy old bee.
Look, there's no time like the present, so why don't we sort of harness some of my new skills and put them into action? It's such a lovely day. Let's all go and sit out by the gift shop.
Bloody hippie. You'll be lighting incense next.
Hey, we can even use this. I picked this up.
It's Pharsalia. What's that? It looks like something from science fiction.
It's a whiteboard, Peter. I'll have to take you to the Apple store sometime. It'll blow your mind. Come on, then. Out we go.
I'll fetch some chairs. I've always liked carrying chairs.
Right. Can everyone see the whiteboard okay?
Oh, the light's reflecting off into my eyes, Tom.
What if you moved your head a bit to the side, Maureen?
Oh, that's better. Still think it's attracting Midge's mind.
It's not. Now, the first thing they spoke about at the conference for improving a team's productivity is goal setting. Can anybody tell me why that's important?
Because if we all came...
Anybody aside from Emma? Anybody?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yes, Peter?
Well, now the light from the whiteboard shining into my eyes. I'm blind, Tom, like Delius, Milton, Homer, Enrico Dandolo.
Yes, Peter. Well, it's important to set goals because it gives a team something to aim towards. You see, the key is that all of your individual goals link into the group's collective objectives. Can you see?
Ah, yes, now I can.
Great.
I just moved my head a bit. You're right, Tom, it really works.
Julian, why don't we start with you? What are your goals?
I'd quite like to be curator of the museum.
OK, excellent. So that goal's going to motivate you to work harder, isn't it?
But that's my job, old chap. And I certainly won't be relinquishing this position until the end, when my soul flees complaining to the shades below.
Yeah, so really, there's no point me putting in too much hard work, is there, Tom?
What are your goals, Maureen?
I'm just trying to find my jigsaw piece.
Alan?
I've always wanted to restore a BSA Bantam, a later model D175. You know, where the spark plug sits vertical in the cylinder head. Or just visit my cousin in Lancaster.
I think Tom means more a goal to do with work, Alan.
Oh, right. I suppose I don't really have one. Keep working? Is that one?
Okay, why don't we move on to the next point? Interpersonal relationship management.
There's none of that stuff goes on here. Not even at the Christmas party.
No, what I mean by
You'd have
that
to be
is...
desperate. It's always been slim pickings at Plum House.
Well, I quite like the Christmas party. Peter always dresses up as Santa.
You're not meant to know it's me, Julian.
I don't think Father Christmas traditionally lectures the local school on the poetry of George Pudding.
Only if they've been good boys and girls.
No. Focus, guys. I'm talking about building effective work relationships. I thought we could go through one exercise we all had to do on the day, which is that you address a fellow member of staff and mention 2 things you think they're good at, and then 1 thing that they could maybe improve on. So who'd like to start?
I'll have a go. Julian, you're a dirty, lying puzzle stealer.
That's okay. Well, yeah, you started quite strongly with the constructive criticism there, Maureen, haven't you? So now we need 2 compliments for Julian.
I don't have any.
But at least try one.
He's good at stealing things.
For the last time, Maureen, I haven't stolen your infernal jigsaw piece.
Julian, why don't you have a go at this exercise with Emma?
Fine. Emma, you are quite good at making tea.
Right. Quite good.
And what's your second compliment?
You're also okay at making coffee.
And your criticism?
You're not very good at anything else.
Are you joking? Coming from you, the man who asked me which side the stamp goes on an envelope.
We're living in a digital world now, Emma.
Okay, guys, let's all just calm down, you know. Okay, let's move on to the third thing they taught me at the conference. Clarifying roles. Okay, so it's important for everyone to understand what the other members of the team actually do. So, for example, what does Julian do? What is his day made up of? What tasks does he have to accomplish at work?
I do lots of stuff.
Exactly. So, like...
This is a tough one.
Well, I'm great at solving problems. I'm a cryptic crossword crackerjack. That's what I'm here for. I'm the Plum House problem solver.
You had to ask me how to turn the computer on the other day.
As if that's important. We're not living in some digital world quite yet, Emma.
You just said he's a problem that needs solving, not a problem solver.
Well, let's not raise our voices.
That blasted sun is in my eyes
Maybe
again.
a Triumph Trident instead of a BSA Bantam.
Where's my piece of compo, you?
Go buy a new one.
It's a special anniversary edition.
37 years isn't a proper anniversary.
Guys, everybody please be quiet. I mean, look, this obviously isn't working. Maybe it's time for slightly more drastic measures.
Sack Julian?
What?
No, I was thinking of a group bonding trip, you know, some sort of away day.
Well, if we have to, we could go to the gingerbread experience.
Why would we go there?
I could put some mice in the kitchen, get them shut down. That'd show 'em jumped up cocky so-and-so.
Any other suggestions?
I've always wanted to see that new bottle bank in town. I've heard the welding...
Hold your horses! I've seen the light.
Oh, for goodness sake, just move your head, Peter.
No. We could have a go at Pudding's Horseshoe.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Peter. Whatever that is.
Pudding's Horseshoe was George Pudding's favourite walk through the fells and valleys, chock full of magical vistas and heart-stopping panoramas. Do you know what Wordsworth called it?
No.
A very good walk.
Oh, great.
And it starts and ends here in Plum House.
Excellent.
I mean, that actually does sound ideal, Peter. Was everybody up for that then, guys?
It's not too much walking, is it? I've already got these onions on my feet.
They're called bunions.
I know what bunions are. These are bigger lumps than that. They're proper onion-sized.
Has everyone got everything?
I think Maureen's brought everything but the kitchen sink.
When I do a picnic, I do it properly.
What's that?
It's Kendal mint cake.
It's the size of a brick. You look like a major heroin importer.
When you get a little tired carrying all of this stuff around, Maureen?
Don't worry, Alan will carry it.
She told me to bring my wheelbarrow. We might as well have done it in my car.
I like your pink cagoule, Alan. Very fetching.
That's my second best one, that is. So make sure you don't get it dirty. I've been in trouble on the cagoule front since CNA shut down.
And you're certainly taking it seriously, Julian. You look very professional.
The latest Gore-Tex all-weather gear this, Tom. Let's just say this isn't my first expedition. I've led a number of previous outings.
You look like that Ray Mears fella.
Thank you, Maureen.
He's a bit tubby as well.
That's the sign of an expert survivalist. When you can go to the Amazon rainforest and put on weight, you're doing something right.
Yeah, we're just going on a stroll around the Lake District, though. Not even the high bits, apparently.
The same principles apply.
Has anybody seen Peter?
I think that's him coming now.
Ooh, I say, what a day for it. Who's ready for Pudding's horseshoe?
Peter.
Yes, Thomas.
Why are you wearing lederhosen?
It's the weekend, Thomas. We're about to embark on a rigorous outdoor pursuit. Faire de l'alpinisme. Das Bergsteigen. What did you expect me to wear?
Shorts and a T-shirt?
I'll have you know that I've had some wonderful times in these old things. I enjoy the freedom of movement while still being held firm. I once walked across Hampstead Heath wearing these, and there was no end of compliments from all the friendly young men.
Shall we get going? As the most experienced hiker here, I propose myself as expedition leader. No objections? Good.
Well, the whole point of today, Julian, is that there are no leaders, and we're all here to work together as a team. Although you had better show us the way, Peter, as you know the route best.
Oh, trust me, you're in for a treat. Come on, everybody! Follow Peter!
Be careful with that picnic, Alan.
I've got it, Maureen.
And look out yonder, past those hills, a curious bunch of daffodils. Aren't they yellow? Aren't they gold? Oh my, they must be getting cold.
Perhaps we've heard enough of Pudding's poetry for one day, Peter.
Patently good for team morale, Tom.
It's definitely making me walk faster. The sooner we get home, the less I have to hear of it. It makes me wax crackle, it does.
Ah, what a magnificent dry stone wall. Pudding wrote a wonderful ode to a wall.
Yes, we heard it earlier. All 34 verses.
But that was a different dry stone wall.
Hang on, guys. I think this is the same wall from earlier.
It does look familiar.
Nonsense. Never. Not on your Nelly. I mean, I know walls, and there is absolutely zero chance whatsoever that this is the wall we passed earlier. Impossible. Inconceivable. Absurd.
Those are Alan's old wheelbarrow tracks.
Well, I suppose it could be the wall from earlier.
How do you know they're from Alan's wheelbarrow?
Who else is bringing a wheelbarrow up here?
Those are definitely from my wheelbarrow. You can see the tyre's slightly flat, and the tread patterns are Dunlop, the discontinued SP9000.
Are we lost, Peter?
According to this compass, we should still be heading north.
That does look like quite an old compass, Peter.
It was used by the great man, Pudding himself, given to him by his uncle, a sea captain. Well, left to him after the shipwreck.
Yeah, I don't think that compass is working, Peter.
I fear you might be right, Tom. The needle hasn't moved in the last 30 years. I can't always have been walking north.
Oh, it's starting to get a bit nippy.
Right, guys, don't panic. What we need is to stay out here in the open and let our bodies acclimatise to the cold.
Or we could go and take shelter under those trees there until we figure out where we are.
I vote for that one.
Yes, indeed.
Although, what if we just followed Alan's wheelbarrow tracks back to Plum House?
The thing is, for the first couple of hours, I made sure I was mostly wheeling over long grass and loose stones.
Why would you do that?
I don't like making a mess of a path, Maureen.
So we're lost, basically.
Not lost, Edith, merely between places of familiarity.
Why don't I climb to higher ground to work out where we are? The first rule of survival is always split up. If everyone splits up, we massively increase our chances of being found. I saw that on 999 with Michael Burke.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite right at all. But maybe you could go take a look, but be careful and come back as soon as you can. We'll be under those trees.
Tom, this is hardly dangerous terrain. I once got to the top of Table Mountain in South Africa.
Yeah, in a cable car. Show me the picture.
Yes, but it was still a very bumpy ride.
I must say, Maureen, you've outdone yourself. I mean, I'm as surprised as anyone to say it, but that was actually quite satisfactory.
Thanks, Peter.
A 3-course picnic with 2 different pudding options. You're slowly on your way to being the new Marguerite Patton.
At least my wheelbarrow will be easier to push on the way back now.
Don't speak too soon. If we find an apple tree, I'll be loading it up for some crumbles and cobblers.
I'm getting a little bit worried about Julian.
Well, whatever happens, it serves him right.
It is starting to get a little dark. If the light continues to dwindle, we might find ourselves lost up here.
Yeah, I think you might have forgotten why we're all sat under the trees in the first place, Peter.
What?
Come on, I think we should go look for Julian.
Or we could just leave him behind. You see, there's only enough flapjack left for the 5 of us.
No, we're all a team. Nobody gets left behind.
Fine. You'll have to finish off the Arctic roll, then.
He can have my slice of flapjack. I broke 2 molars and a canine the last time I had some.
Up we get then, guys. Let's get moving.
What a motivator you are, Tom. Mr. Motivator. That's what we should call you.
Well, not putting on a multicoloured leotard, Peter.
Was that an option? I wish you'd told me sooner. Have you got one with you?
Forget I said anything. Help! Somebody! Anybody? That's Julian, in the pinfold. Hang on. You all right?
I tripped a couple of hours ago. I think I've broken my ankle. I haven't looked at it, but I'm pretty sure the bone's sticking out.
No, Julian, it's really not. You've probably just twisted it. Try and stand up.
I can't, it hurts.
What if we put you in the wheelbarrow, Mr. Julian? It might work like a stretcher.
Oh, yeah, they did that on Last of the Summer Wine once.
Oh, you and Last of the Summer Wine. Think of the embarrassment. What if somebody saw me?
It's either that or we leave you here. So, up you get. On the count of 3. 1, 2...
No, the pain's too much. I'm in serious pain. Childbirth pain. But worse. I'm on the verge of losing consciousness. You'll have to go and get help.
Oh, calm down. I remember when you stapled your finger and begged the paramedics for morphine.
Talking of fingers, I can't help but point one in your direction, Julian. I do rather feel that you ruined this trip for us. Me? But, Peter, you got us lost. Ah, but that's just part of the fun of Pudding's Horseshoe. If there was an actual agreed-upon route, everyone would be doing it.
Well, I think it's Tom's fault for making us come out here in the first place.
It's nobody's fault, even though technically it was Peter who got us lost. Look, I just see this as an opportunity to work together as a team. So, Alan, Maureen and Peter, you stay here and look after Julian. Emma and I will go and try and find a spot where we can get some phone reception.
Fine, but if he's dead by the time you get back, don't go blaming us.
Dead? Would you like some angel delight, Julian? It really is ambrosia.
Don't be daft, Peter. Ambrosia's custard. Sometimes rice pudding.
This is so typical of Julian. We once did an Easter egg hunt for the local school and he set cryptic crossword clues. It took so long to find them.
Well, the Easter eggs?
The children. He wasn't popular. Fortunately, they were all found safe and well. They just got bored and wandered off to a local park. Of course, Peter had to enter as well, given his sweet tooth. He got rather into it and caught a train all the way down to Egham, convinced one of the clues hinted at that area. He wasn't happy when he got back. They didn't speak for a while.
I don't know how you cope with them. It's exhausting, just keeping them on the straight and narrow.
Well, it's getting easier.
Really? I mean, we're currently trying to contact the emergency services on their behalf.
No, I mean, I've got you now to help me. Not that I need help, but, you know, it's nice having you here.
Oh, right, well, that's kind of you, dear. You know,
Unless we all have to spend the night outside and end up getting hypothermia, then I'd rather you'd stayed in London.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, okay, let's keep looking for some signal.
I've been gone ages, hours. Can you adjust this woolly hat, please? It's a bit tight and hurting my head.
Oh, stop moaning. It's only been 20 minutes, and you've got arms, haven't you?
Yeah, but I'm busy eating, trying to keep my strength up.
For a person who's supposedly seriously injured, you're doing an awful lot of eating and gassing. Why can't you be seriously injured like a normal person?
Is there any more of this, Angel Delight? I'm actually getting a taste for it. It's like boarding school on a spoon.
You can't have finished it already. That was meant for everyone, you chodder.
I haven't eaten that much. OK, I finished off the Arctic roll, but I had to throw the flapjack over the wall. It was more like a rock bun made of actual rock.
You're like a dustbin, you are. A big, horrible bin bag.
What else have we got left in the wheelbarrow, Alan?
Don't tell him.
The only thing left is the curly sausage casserole.
Alan! You what? He can't have eaten everything that was left. What about that Kendal mint cake?
I needed something sugary crumbled on my Angel Delight. Wasn't quite as sweet as what the dinner ladies used to make.
Peter, have you heard this? Peter?
Is this how it ends, Maureen? Are we all walking through happy valleys, blissfully unaware death is about to grab us by the straps of our lidos?
I hope this isn't the end for me, stuck behind a dry stone wall with a pair of drama queens and an empty flask.
I'm sorry, Maureen, I don't mean to alarm. I think I've always thought of myself as something of a tragic Captain Oates figure.
Don't mention Oaks. You'll make me think of breakfast cereal. I knew we should have brought them Rice Krispies. Still, we wouldn't have had any milk for them now, would we? Thanks to old Mr. Milky T. Alan Walsh here.
Don't get at me. I have to have it milky. You know I'm more of a Ribena man.
But that Milky Alan, I've known milkshakes with less milk in them.
I I could murder a sodding milkshake.
I beg your pardon. We might be in a bit of a mess, but there's no need for bad language like that. Thank you very much. That's it.
What?
No curly sausage casserole for you.
Peter, I am not the quartermaster, Julian. Supplies are running low. The ancient pagans of these parts fed the sacrificial oxen to a point. Then no more.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, it's really worth checking out. Fantastic museum. They made great progress in the past few years, actually improving access.
Tom?
Yeah?
Shut up. Look at that.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Full moon. Like the night you first got here.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like a film. Just me and you up here, middle of nowhere, full moon above us.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, very romantic.
Some sort of
werewolf film, yeah. That's what I was thinking of, werewolves. Woo! Werewolf noise. Oh, you got any signal yet?
Nope, no signal.
I guess we should get them rescued. Pretty bad team-building exercise if 2/3 of the team never came back.
You're such a goody-goody, Tom.
We should come do this walk again properly sometime, shouldn't we? Just you and me again, no lederhosen, no twisted ankles.
No wheelbarrow.
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say...
Look, phone box!
Right, great. Found it already.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. So we just asked for the mountain rescue, do we? As we ring the police and then do they get the mountain rescue for us? And kind of like a lifeboat, isn't it, on the fells?
Base camp, 13th July, or thereabouts. Hard to say. Conditions terrible. A cold breeze from the east. You'd be okay with a jumper on, I imagine, but alas, I have no jumper. I've asked Maureen if I can borrow her cardigan. That was the latest argument. Now she crochets in silence. Julian howls in the dark for Calpol. I see Alan silhouetted against the moon's bright eyes, studying the Bible, the good book.
Peter, do you have to keep doing these logs? Can't you just write them down or something?
And I'm only being silent because you have to concentrate when you're crocheting. If I get yammering, I know I'll do a dicky stitch, and then I really will be angry.
And I'm actually reading a book about birds' eggs, Mr. Knight, but it is good.
Don't mention birds' eggs. I'd really like an egg right now.
You said that before you took the train to Egham.
Do you have to bring up that blasted Easter egg hunt?
Sorry, Peter.
Alan, a word in my office. It's just that bit of pinfold over there.
Okay, Mr. Knight.
You've gone quiet, Alan. Withdrawn. Head in your shell. Everything all right, old boy?
I'm always pretty quiet.
Fair point. Listen, I'm bringing you in here because I'm a bit worried about it all. Tom and Emma are a frightful long time coming back. What I want to know is, could you finish off Julian if push came to shove?
What?
Could you do him in? Dash his brains out with a stone. Bump him off this mortal coil. He's a glutton, a murderer of morale.
I really don't think it's going to come to that, Mr. Knight. We're only a couple of miles from Plum House. 5 of us can walk, and there's still that curly sausage casserole.
About that, Alan, there's probably only enough for 2 of us. I dare say they're plotting to eat it themselves right this very moment.
Steady on, Mr. Knight. They wouldn't do that, would they?
You'd be surprised at the depths to which man can descend, Alan, for the last bit of curly sausage casserole.
Maybe we could have a little bit of that curly sausage casserole while they're gone, Maureen.
But that's for an emergency.
Is this not an emergency? Come on. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's only big enough for 2 people. Me and you are 2 people, Maureen.
Well, I guess we could have a little bite.
That's the spirit.
But wait, we can't have casserole cold.
Fine. Well, what if we set fire to some of your crocheting?
You're not burning my crocheting.
Oh, come on. You can always make some more.
You selfish old... You've not changed, have you? First it's stealing my jigsaw pieces, and
Don't
now
start this again.
Where's my compo? It's the 37-year anniversary jigsaw.
That is not a proper anniversary. In fact, that's it. You've lost your share of the curly sausage casserole as well. I'm eating it right this instant, on my own, whether you like it or not.
Get off it, you!
I told you, Alan, there's a casserole conspiracy.
I'm sorry, Peter, but it's every man for himself.
Careful with my wheelbarrow.
You can't eat casserole cold.
Alan, as we discussed, I think it's time to hit him over the head with that rock.
Sorry, what? It wasn't my idea.
Go on, do him. He's a jigsaw puzzle thief.
Good evening, campers.
Are we interrupting?
Oh, Tom, Emma. The beautiful boy's return.
About time. Well, I'm afraid there's good news and bad news. On the plus side, a mountain rescue are on their way. But sadly, we couldn't give them a precise location, as, of course, they'd never heard of Pudding's horseshoe.
We're doomed. They'll never find us.
It's actually getting pretty cold now.
And now it's raining. Well, we all remember what happened as the Titanic sank.
Yes, she let go of that Leonardo DiCaprio, didn't she? She was still sad about it when she was an old dear as well. Don't know why. Give me Shakin' Stevens any day.
The band played on as the ship slipped beneath the waves. I'd like our end to have something of the same spirit. Alan, my knapsack.
There you go, Mr. Knight.
It's time for me to raise my flute and sound a tune.
Oh, things have gone from bad to worse.
Who brings a flute on a walk?
Allow me to flaunt with you one last time. It was very rude of the mountain rescue man to tell me to stop playing in the Land Rover. I'd only just started the second movement. It's terribly bad form to interrupt a fellow andante con moto.
He had just rescued us, Peter, but I guess we'd never have been found if it wasn't for your, music.
They said they could hear him half a mile away.
Oh, well, some of us were only 3 feet away. I've still got a headache.
Maybe the humble flute will become a mountaineering essential.
I don't think so, Peter. And I can't see Lederhosen making a comeback either.
Guys, could we please pay attention to the whiteboard? So how do we use teamwork to help get Julian off the fell side?
We should have left him there. Injured? They wouldn't even give him crutches.
You're fighting a losing battle here, Tom.
Morning.
Oh, morning, Alan. Where have you been?
Oh, well, I've just been finishing a replacement jigsaw piece for Maureen.
He's a star. Give it here, then. You'd never know. Well, barely. Compo's face is complete. 37 years of Last of the Summer wine. Done.
It looks like the Phantom of the Opera now.
Quiet, you.
Hey, I've brought you in the local paper. We're on page 7.
Page 7? They'll print any old rot these days. I remember when news was news.
Missing plums.
They've excelled themselves with that headline.
Oh dear, he's stuck the boot in, the mountain rescue leader. They were completely out of their depth and inappropriately dressed. They were carrying flutes instead of first aid kits. If their attitude to running a museum is anything like their attitude to fell walking, I'm surprised they're still in business.
Oh dear.
Tom. As I always say, all publicity is good publicity.
And at least now we can put an end to all of that team-building nonsense.
Yeah.
From here on out, it's every man and woman for themselves, just like it's always been. Plum House wouldn't run in any other way, and I think we can all agree on that.
Absolutely.
Quod erat demonstrandum.
Plum House was written by Ben Cottam and Paul McKenna. It starred Simon Callow, Jane Horrocks and Miles Jupp, with Tom Bell, Piers Quigley and Louise Ford. The producer was Paul Schlesinger, and it was a hat-trick production for the BBC.
Thanks very much for joining us. Sunday Night with Old Time Radio airs every Sunday evening from 8 to 11 p.m. Central Time. We hope that you'll always feel welcome and that you'll be a regular listener. We have a lot of fun assembling these programs for you, finding the best of old-time radio, and it pleases us that we're able to share these old broadcasts with a new audience. So we hope that you'll visit next week, 2 March 2025, and until next time, sleep tight. This is a production of Lobato Studios, Sao Paulo, Brazil.